And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I'm here with Joanne. Joanne, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So what brings you to World Beat today?
Well, I'm actually one of the performers today. I'll be performing with the Tongan group on today in about 2 hours, and then I'll be performing with Natia Ola Pacifica. I'll be doing that Sunday at 1:15,
That's
and we
awesome.
do a lot of the other islands, all the other islands, and Tonga as well.
How important is it for spaces like this to exist so that you can promote your culture?
So the biggest thing for me was that, I moved here almost 20 years ago, and the World Beat was the first time that I truly saw the diversity that was open to me here in Oregon. So that was one of the biggest things. It just really felt like, oh, that's where everybody is, because you can, especially I live like, Monmouth area.
Yeah.
So, definitely you can feel like one of none or, one of very few. And then you come to a space like this and just see everybody. And to see that the space actually is an appreciated space in Salem was really comforting to me, especially in my early years.
And how important is that? Because some spaces they profess or they pretend to be that space. This is that space.
100%.
And you can feel the difference.
Yes.
And cause you come here and nobody has a frown on their face or ain't a mean mug anywhere to be found.
Not at all. I think everyone is invested in this being the type of space where we can all appreciate each other as well as our own culture. I love one of the biggest things that I love about World Beat is that every year is a new area or a new region or a new country that is featured. And so that it just allows everyone to have a time to shine. So again, I cannot put enough words around the value that is for someone who's coming into a space that is largely homogenous.
Yeah. And because it's also important that people recognize the best and easiest way for us to coexist is to learn about each other. Because if we isolate and we sort of keep within our spaces, it's so easy to develop this narrative about somebody. But the reality is you have no idea what anybody has been through, what brought them to you at that precise moment. So instead of judgment, come with curiosity and see what happens.
Yes. And learn so much. I think what's really interesting is to learn how much cultures are the same. So an example was we were in the African village area and they had a performer and it was so funny. The song they said part in English was like, kiss your friend, and then they changed languages and the word they were using was aloha. It wasn't pronounced the same way as we use aloha, but yeah. So it was very interesting as I was like, oh, that was just a really fun, interesting thing. I came to dance in the Pacific Island area, but coming through the African village, I'm hearing a word that means a lot to me that I hear all the time. So that was really nice.
And how important is it to see your culture represented in outside spaces?
I think it's really important, again, that not only is it represented, but it's appreciated. It really just, again, when you're living in a society or a community like ours where it's not always easily visible that it's very diverse, to see that, it's just, again, for me, it's been comforting. It's reassuring. And then it also develops a sense of confidence that you can go ahead and live your culture, live it out loud. And I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing for our youth, so especially like for my daughter, it's been nice for her to explore both aspects of her culture to get in and do everything she wants because she can.
And the only hard question I ask on this podcast, what do you love most about your own culture?
What I love most about my own culture is also kind of tricky because I want to say that our ability to persevere, but in my culture, that's something that's been forced on us.
Yeah.
But to love ourselves, to love our higher power, in my case, God, to the point that is something that we can gravitate to, even despite in times of conflict and times of oppression. We've had to do that. So it's one of those things I love about my culture, but also it's a double-edged sword because we don't want to have to persevere. We want to be able to exist freely. And spaces like this are really encouraging because we can do that in this space.
And I really appreciate that perspective. As somebody on the autism spectrum who's had to struggle to be in the same space as a lot of people, it builds character and it builds strength. At the same time, it sucks that we have to do that.
Right.
You know, because like the piece that I don't understand is if to be unkind is a choice and it's so much harder
Right.
than to just treat people with dignity and respect.
Exactly.
Like, I don't. That's my soapbox for today. I'm sorry, folks, but it's one of those things that just drives me like bonkers because it's such an easy thing to just be kind.
Right. It is. It like you said, is harder to be not kind.
Yeah.
You know, when you go through life and honestly, respecting yourself, you know, and when you respect yourself, you're going to naturally be able to radiate that to other people. They can reflect it back to you. You get what you give. So, you know, if you want others to be kind to you, like it's the golden rule for a reason. And it's
Yeah.
the most valuable thing that most valuable character that you can have is kindness.
And we can't control what other people say or do.
Correct.
We can always control what we say or do.
I always tell people, look, I don't have any more oil for anybody else's cogwheel other than my own. So again, I think if you, you know, as they say, mind your own business,
Yeah.
stay in your lane, you know, and have that be a lane of kindness, right? You're going to move easier through the world.
So tell people how they can learn more about the dance troupe that you're a part of.
So I'm a member of 2 dance troupes. So one of our dance troupes, which is, so we just formed together to do
That's
this one,
awesome.
to help present because it is Pacific Island and they needed more Tongan representation. A friend of mine is Tongan and had asked me to join their group. So it's Tulo something. I'll come back and tell you. I
No
promise.
worries.
And then my main group that I'm a part of is Natia Ola Pacifica. And so PolynesianDance.com. Our director is Auntie Ruta Samuelo. And so you can find us online. You can find us. Oh, yes. Imagine this. Tulo Tongan Troupe is my first group that I'll be dancing with today. And then tomorrow, Natila Pacifica, like I said, our director is Auntie Ruta Samuelu. And you can contact her through Instagram. You can find Natia on Instagram, Facebook, as well as the internet, again, under PolynesianDance.com. And then you will, I'm sorry, dancepolynesia.com. Sorry.
You're good.
Not my website. You can find us through all those areas and get more information about classes. We do take a small break in the summer because the performance group does a lot of interaction with the community, and they are actually going out of state to do different gigs, basically.
That's awesome.
Right. And so that's something that's really fun for them. So we kind of are more active in the school year, as it were.
Yeah.
So.
And the last question I'll have is, what are you looking forward to most as you go out in World Beat today?
The food. Honestly, like I can't wait to get done dancing so then I can then eat. It's really hard to dance on a full stomach.
Well, thank you very much to be here. We're going to lose the sound with the rain. So, but if you haven't chance to come down to World Beat, folks, and enjoy the cultural experience. Yeah. And thank you so much for stopping by.
I appreciate you having me on your podcast.
Are you kidding? That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, a katana umbrella. That is epic.
Thank you.
And your name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie, what brings you to World Beat today?
I saw it on the internet and I love great food and drums. So I figured it was a cool space to come check.
So you caught my eye when you were walking by because like I love people that have open expression and just wear what they want in a way that they're comfortable. I really like your look.
Thank you.
Is that something like you have a bunch of eclectic looks at home and
yes.
I love that. How did that passion start?
So my nickname is Mismatch. It was given to me in college, which is over 15 years ago at this point. I wear 2 different shoes most of the time. I have on matching shoes today because they're sparkly and I don't have mismatched pairs of them. But usually I would wear like a blue shoe and a red shoe or a purple shoe and a pink shoe in order to kind of pull a whole look together. I'm a teacher or former teacher, and doing that in the classroom kind of became a huge part of our environment. And it helped with anti-bullying, and it helped with creating a safe, inclusive space where children felt like they could be themselves and like they could branch out and ask questions and try new things and embrace parts of themselves that other places might laugh at them or make fun of them. And so I got to live and model and say, people stop me in the mall and they make fun of me. Not everybody gets my style. Not everybody is supportive. I get made fun of a lot, and I don't let it change who I am or affect my self-confidence. Some people are afraid to embrace themselves like that. And it makes me a little sad for those people. So I get to sit with the kid who's being bullied, and I get to say, hey, buddy, it's okay to be brave. And it's okay to embrace who you are. And it's okay to not let things hurt your feelings, and to show up and to show people how to be strong and confident. And then I get to go to the other kid and I get to say, hey, you know how you think it's really cool that I do this? Well, not everybody does. And they say, oh, well, those people are lame. And I said, yeah, but you're kind of being the one who's lame right now, because this person is doing something that is just a different version of what I'm doing. And if you're going to support me, you have to open your mind. You have to support them too. And you don't want to be that person who's being negative and bringing someone else down who's just trying to have a good day.
I just want to express my gratitude for what you just said. As an autistic child who has gone through the ringer and been on the other side, having that voice in the classroom would have been epic for me, because the kids that get picked on and bullied, sometimes they don't have that representation.
Yeah.
And so to hear that somebody in a teaching role has that sort of outlook is really inspiring, because some kids, they don't have that voice anywhere, not even at home. Was that something like your sort of personal philosophy, or like what prompted that sort of idea in the classroom?
I
Because
think
that's
it's just
awesome.
something that grew on its own. It started small. I was just being who I was, and I saw the way that it made other people who felt ostracized by society would come to me and have these types of conversations. And it was like, you know what, if this is a space that is feeling safe and it's drawing that in, I'm just going to cultivate it, and I'm just going to exist, and I'm just going to continue to be a walking representation of, hey, how are you? I hope you have a great day.
And I think this is a fundamental truth. And tell me if this is wrong, right? Anybody that makes that snap judgment misses out on who you are as a human being.
Oh, absolutely. It's happened multiple times in here today. I see the people with the negativity, and they're like, oh, she's so dramatic, and oh, what a pick me, or whatever. And if you're boring, just say that.
Yeah, right? But who cares? Like, let people wear whatever they want to wear.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
that's
They're
not the
shoes.
deal.
Why are you
Right?
care if I'm wearing mismatched shoes? Everybody wears shoes.
So talk about the importance of spaces like this. Why is it important that we have safe spaces where people can just exist and enjoy each other?
I think part of it just comes down to love and loving yourself, and being kind to everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't have to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody in order to be kind. It's about not spilling your hot coffee on everyone around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And
makes sense. Like, you're emotional, like you're having a bad day or whatever. You don't need to like dump that on everyone else. Keep your hot coffee in your cup.
I appreciate that analogy. And one of the things that I have also noticed too is that if you make a commitment towards kindness, it's amazing what the universe will open up to you.
Absolutely.
Because if you put kindness out there, kindness finds a way to visit back.
What's the law of attraction?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do good things happen. The golden rule, every philosophy that there is about living life, religion or not, they all kind of have a similar vibe of karma, whether you believe in karma or the golden rule or whatever. It's all kind of that same mentality of do good things, and good things hopefully find you.
And so I have a friend who has a child, and the teacher used to give him a real hard time because as a parent team, they said, you pick your clothes today. You get to wear whatever you want because your clothes don't define you. And I remember really distinctly, like at first, the teacher gave them a really hard time because it wasn't school appropriate. And I'm like, what is school appropriate? Because he's wearing red pajamas, and like, it's not inappropriate class. It's just because it's not like, I mean, come on.
Right.
Why
If
do
they're
we judge?
clothed,
Yeah.
that should be appropriate.
Yeah. And how, from your perspective, how important is it as a child to see people express kindness and acceptance.
I think that it's super important because if they see other people accepting and expressing others, then they learn to accept and express themselves. When they're watching people judge other people, they sit back and they internalize that and they say, "Oh, well, I can't act that way, or I can't like that, or I can't do that because then other people are going to feel that way about me." And it is all about allowing people to be who they are and not putting them inside of a box where they feel like they have to shave off parts of themselves in order to fit in.
And the amount of time that I've spent in my life trying to mask and fit into somebody else's box is exhausting.
Yes.
And it would just be easier if, just let you be you, let me be me, and let's just get along together. Like, why is that hard?
What makes the fruit salad of life
Right?
so good is that everybody likes different things and brings different things to the potluck party.
Yeah.
If everybody was bringing the same dish, that would be really boring.
Boring. Yeah. Yeah.
Like this. The
Yeah.
culture, the difference, the costumes, the brightness, the zest for just existing and being on this plane.
And how many times is this your first year at the World Beater?
It is. I just moved here from Colorado.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to Oregon.
I'm loving the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, it's my favorite place. I'm originally from Seattle, too. So I'm hoping that you find Oregon as accepting and open as I have.
I have been having a great time exploring McMenamins specifically, how they have their little sprinkle of those all over and the history. I have been definitely getting around and falling in love with it town by town.
So the only other question that I have, because I'm just genuinely curious, how do you get the multicultural lipstick part? Like, does that take like an hour of like meticulous?
5 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, I have the products in my bag, I think. Most of them are little eyeshadows. This company that I use, they do not sponsor me. They probably should.
Right?
Because
Pay attention, sponsors.
I win competitions sometimes, actually, for lipstick. There's an example on my TikTok page. But they're just little vials like this. This is an eyeshadow one, and I just kind of like dab on the outside with the tip of the applicator, and I seal it with a gloss, and it stays all day.
Okay, so you've kind of pushed a pause in my autistic brain. You have a competition about lipstick?
There are makeup competitions.
Tell me more, because I know nothing of these things.
Oh yeah, and some of them are big and some of them are little. I was on a page that was like a Facebook group that had several thousand people, and they would do competitions where they would put out a theme and you do your makeup and you submit pictures of it, and then they choose like winners or whatever. And I've won those many times.
That's awesome. And then the only hard question that I ask for today, what is it about your culture that you love?
I think I love having access to so many of them. I think that choosing one, being I hate to say being a white American, we don't have a ton of our own culture. And so I think one of the great things about being in the melting pot is having so much access to beautiful wardrobes and unique spices and foods and music. And I think that finding the world grows different things all over. I am a bit of a nomad. Oregon is my 6th state of residency in my adult life. My ultimate goal is to build out a bus and to live in a bus and be like the real life Miss Frizzle and go and experience cultures and actually teach people the truth behind what cultures actually are and get rid of some of maybe the stereotypes and the misunderstandings and not appropriate, but appreciate different places all over.
So, what is the main platform for your social media? And I say this because if you're going to do this journey, I want to follow that journey.
Oh, that's so
like
kind.
That is a journey like I would be interested in learning and like following along.
I do have TikTok. That's where my makeup video of all my like different lipstick looks and stuff is like pinned to the top if that's something you wanted to look
Yeah,
at.
100%.
I think my thing is Mismatch 1990.
Okay.
which is my nickname in the year that I was born.
Mhm.
So if you want to look me up and follow me on there, that's where I'm at right now. And if I start a different page for like bus stuff as I get that going, I will make sure to let everybody on there know where I'm moving over to. But that's where I post most of the time. I mostly just like post outfit pictures or makeup stuff, or I do daily clinks sometimes where I'm basically just talking about positivity or talking about like what energies are going on in the cosmos and what we can be focusing on in order to utilize those energies and make ourselves better people every day.
And I appreciate that so much because I don't know if you're familiar with the autism community or not. The autism community has a bunch of eclectic people who love to wear outlandish outfits, who love to wear different makeups and bunny ears. And so a profile like yours is something that would be very attractive
Oh, send them
to the
over.
autism
I'd
community.
love those. Absolutely.
So 100%. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
What a
this
wonderful
was a cool
happenstance.
conversation.
Yes, I'm
Thank you so
glad.
much.
This lights up
Yeah.
too. I don't know if I told
What?
you, but
No.
they have lights in them. Yeah, they all light up. There's like an app and there's like rainbow lights. It can match to music and sounds and like do the beats and whatever. So at night, I'm hoping this will really pop off. Maybe you'll still be here this evening.
I will
and
be here until
I'll
they
come
shut
find
this
you and
down.
I'll show it off.
You got it. Thank you so much.
What was your name?
Sean.
Sean. It was so great to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Sean.
too.
Thank
Yes.
you so
Oh, and I
much.
love your nails too.
Thank you.
Uh,
You're gonna make my head explode with all these compliments.
uh, all right. And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I'm here with Tad. Tad, what brings you to World Beat today? There you go. Good.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh. I as a college student went to Seattle Folklife Festival, and it's very similar in like the celebration of folk life from around the world, and I just really fell in love with it. And yet the trip up to Seattle is such a long trip, especially with kids. And I just started, and I realized, hey, wait a minute, in our backyard, we're from Yamhill County. In our backyard, we've got this awesome uh celebration of the world as it is. So yeah.
And because I love like when you have spaces like this where it's a true celebration and everyone is welcome. What is it that about this sort of vibe or energy that you like so much?
Yeah, thank you. I actually it really touches me because um I did a bike trip around the world in my late 20s, and I just was helped by so many people from around the world. And so I think being able to come back and see cultures that I recognize from that journey um, is really powerful to me. And I think it resonates. I think obviously getting a little more emotional than I expected, but I think what's really powerful is to um, just start deconstructing the fictions of various nation states and be like, you know what? We are all human. There are so many problems that we need each other to solve. And it's okay if we're different. It's okay if we look different, dress different, eat differently, have housing differently. But gosh, they're all different strategies to meeting the same basic needs. So I guess for me and bringing the kids here, um, that really resonates. I think that my a lot of my life has been about trying to kind of, reconnect what has separated us. So.
Because and I appreciate your perspective there, because one of the things that I have found, especially on this journey of this podcast, is we as humans have way more in common than you would believe if you listen to the major narrative. And the first way for us to sort of get along with each other is to take in another person's culture and come from a place of kindness and curiosity and see
Absolutely.
just how much commonality we have between cultures.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, like I remember when I was traveling, I would, grab a phrase book and learn some basic greetings when I was, for example, traveling in Bali on my bike. And it was like, as soon as I said, good morning, good evening, those things are like, oh my gosh, welcome, come, you know our language. I'm like, well, I just know a tiny bit, but it just like little things like that end up like breaking open all this kindness that we almost need to have an excuse to express to each other.
So what prompted the bike trip in the first place? Because what an amazing experience. Sorry about the train, folks. I'll give it one more minute for it to cross by. That's the problem with being this close to the train tracks, right?
Yeah, these soundproofing panels can only do so much.
And these are dynamic mics, but they even have limits.
Well, this is
So,
awesome.
what prompted the trip around the world on a bicycle to begin with? Because that's a purposeful undertaking that takes a lot of determination.
Yeah, yeah. I was so fortunate to have a social studies teacher in 8th grade that had biked around the world with his 2 boys and his wife, and he taught us stories of the world from his bike trip. And I made a promise to myself that if I ever become a school teacher, I am going to bike around the world and share it with my students. And so I ended up keeping that promise. And this was back in 1999 to 2001. So the very beginning of kind of the internet. We were posting HTML web pages up on before social media. I think that was really a window of before social media. How can we connect each other with the internet, with, these basic digital cameras that we had at the time? Now I think really getting back to that, a lot of social media has been, I think, somewhat corporately taken over.
Yeah.
So it ends up unfortunately dividing us on silly things. And so I mean, when you said this podcast and you said something about kindness and why you're here, I was like, absolutely. I'd like to have a podcast like this too. So thank you for inviting me.
And the reason I started the podcast was simply that I was searching for those positive, reinforcing sort of conversations. And we don't really find all those all that often. But what I've discovered over the last 6 months is that the algorithm downgrades those conversations.
Really?
So if you're trying to have a conversation about positivity, I did a 3-month experiment on TikTok where half of my TikToks were positive about disability and the other half where it was about oppression and about ableism. Anytime I would do a TikTok about ableism, I would get 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 likes. Anytime it was positivity, 75, 45, 105. So the algorithms are choosing
Wow.
kindness and pushing it to the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That to me sounds like if we could just tweak the algorithms and maybe make a little less money for TikTok or something.
Yeah.
But if we could tweak the algorithms, I have a feeling that, like that flight or fight response is what runs our motions. And so negativity is what we like draw to because, whoa, that, if we attend to that, it's going to protect us. And yet really, I think what we need is the reverse.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I also, what I've discovered along the way is that the humanity that is painted in the major narrative is not the humanity that I experience on a daily basis. There is so much more love and community connection and organizations trying to help people that never get the media attention. It's always the multi-conglomerate corporations that get 100 hours a month on TV.
Yeah.
Good luck
Right.
with these nonprofits having that same access.
Yeah, exactly. I really applaud what you're doing. I think that I watch or listen to occasionally this Tangle, which is a news website, but he does like a left and right. But I think even beyond that, I'll just refer back to that experience on the bike trip. A lot of people say, well, how could you, weren't you worried about danger and those kinds of things? I was like, if you think about your own community, the people you know, you don't feel dangerous. In fact, a lot of crime has gone way down, and yet the exposure, I remember Michael Moore was citing like ex- the news about crime, that same thing, the
Yeah.
algorithms kicked it up.
Yeah.
But so many people on that bike trip and then just around the world are just like us. They want to, there's a basic human need of wanting to contribute to other people, especially people who are vulnerable. One thing that's great about biking internationally is by your very existence, you are vulnerable. You're vulnerable when you're riding. People know, like, whoa, this, I can see this whole person. I can see he's only got, 6 bags.
Yeah.
So,
So that's an interesting question. I have a couple of questions about the bike trip
Yeah, yeah.
because for my own personal curiosity,
yeah.
like how did you pack for a bike trip around countries?
Yeah. Well, I actually had a mentor here in Tigard. I mean, this was back in the day when you find people through magazines. It was kind of pre-internet. So, and he told me about his bike trip and a couple mentors that I wrote a letter to my teacher, and he shared with me his packing list. But I remember I actually overpacked. In fact, I sometimes procrastinate a little bit. I had my actual tag, my receipt tag on my tent when I headed out. I think I bent my first back 2 racks because I had put too much stuff on them and like loaded up too much canned food. So, luckily, like life, you can make alterations, you can make iterations. And at some point, I got it down to maybe, I don't know, 70 pounds, 60 pounds. Just the basics, a basic tent. I had a stove with me because I was going international. I had some medicine, that, I would take in an emergency. I had a doctor who would like stay with me via email. And so, yeah, yeah. So that's how you pack. And then you just keep reloading, and had my bike repaired in New Zealand. And yeah.
Right, you're standing right. Yep. You're good. So the only hard question I ask on this podcast is what do you love most about your own culture?
Well, I would say that I I come from I think we're 5th generation or 6th generation Oregonian settlers, of European descent. Uh, and I would just say that kind of farming culture is one that it does go along with what we were talking about as far as hospitality. And also this idea of sometimes farming is too big for any one person to do. And so, like, the cows would get out and we would all have to get together and herd them down the road back into my grandpa's field, or, we just have to move them, or we would like hay together, and we do hay together. In fact, my son just helped my dad with hay. So I think, and then also we had potlucks almost every Sunday night during the summer. And I really, when I was biking, I called the organization Peace Bike, World Peace on a Bike. But I would also say that peace comes through potlucks and just sharing food together, bringing dishes. And so that's something that in our family we're really trying to do. It's a little bit uncomfortable to get together with people. You
Yeah.
have to make small talk. You have to misunderstand somebody. But boy, it's so good for us to keep working on those skills. So,
And if you have an opinion about a different culture without knowing that culture, come on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
take a moment and step into their shoes, embrace their culture, and you will find every culture is a beautiful culture.
yes. It's that I'll just say one more thing about humility. Uh, I think it's so important to have a very quick response of, maybe I'm wrong. Because I just learned that my cousin was naming his son um, Johnny. And my first response was, oh, well, that's not a very imaginative name. That was my first response. Then I heard from my wife say, well, he's naming that son after a a buddy of his that died while they were fighting side by side. And I was like, whoa, that was
Powerful.
a great reminder not to necessarily go with your first response, because who knows where we picked that up, whether we were little kids and we only had partial information, whether we saw it from some kind of weird corporate media. Why not just um, tread lightly if you have any negativity about people and other cultures? So, and be willing, like you said, to be curious, because
It
I mean,
matters.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I know I've said this before and you all like really again, but yes, again, not even identical twins have the same exact life story.
Right.
Everybody's story is unique.
Yeah.
And that's the one fundamental truth about human beings. We are all our own individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how there is that paradox of we all have basic needs. We can all relate to each other. And yet we all have a unique story that is just so complex and beautiful that we cannot label it or make assumptions about it.
And if we do, then things go awry.
I don't even know your name.
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much
Thank you.
for doing this.
Yeah.
I feel it heating up in
Yeah.
here because we got some sunshine. What a great idea to have a podcast about kindness, to have it here at this event.
And I'm honored that they invited me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me into the tent. And
well, I'll let you get back to the event.
Yeah.
Are you here to promote anything or just have fun?
Well, like I said, I'm not here. I'm here to promote what we've been talking about, really.
Yeah.
I mean, with my kids, and just being able to have like experiences where other cultures are like associated with fun and excitement and deliciousness, you know?
Yeah.
So,
And doesn't matter what your background, you are welcome here.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sean. I feel
Thank
like
you, Ted. I appreciate
we got
it.
to know each other a little bit here. Take
And
care.
we'll let you get back.
Okay.
So, Daniel, right?
Yes, sir.
So, welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I'm here with Daniel. What brings you to World Beat today?
Well, what brings me here is at our church we do evangelizing, programs, and well, today it was just a good opportunity to come down here, walk around, see all the different cultures, and spread our love, for Jesus and for the whole community.
So, why is it important that we lead that conversation with respect and love?
Well, to answer that question for me, respect and love is, as a Christian, I know there are a lot of people out here that, who may identify as different. Like me personally, I believe, like there's like male and female, that's it. But there are other people that have, a lot of other opinions on that. But as a Christian, we are not called here to judge others for their actions. We are called here to love one another and be respectful as well. There are a lot of, I'll even put ourselves on the chopping block. There are other Christians out there that go out there and say, you're going to hell if you're going to do this, or you're going to be, you're a disgrace or whatever, and I honestly think they're doing it wrong. I mean, telling someone that they're like super like sinful for this and that is so stupid, because we ourselves, like, we're not one to talk. I'm not one to talk. I sin just as much as the next person does. If not, I've probably committed worse sins than another person here. All about showing love and respect that's exactly what Jesus did. He hung out with the prostitutes. He hung out with the tax collectors, people that, at that time, people really didn't like those kind of people. And it's important that we set an example of what Christ wants us to be and really show love and respect for the others in our community, because that's how a community stays stronger, when we show love and respect for another.
And our community is much better off when we can get along regardless of your perspective, because we need each other now more than ever.
Exactly.
And that includes anybody.
Yeah.
So what is it about this event that you have enjoyed most?
Well, if I had to think, I think the one thing I enjoyed most is going around and talking with everybody who are from other countries. And I get, politically and stuff, our country may not be the best of examples, to the world right now, but one of the beauties of America that I believe was, intended for was, I mean, America is a melting pot of cultures, and you know, it's a place for people to be here, be free without persecution, and be who they want to be. Not necessarily if I agree with that or not, but for them to be here. Like I met, a guy who I believe is a Buddhist who was selling some pretty really neat, interesting things. There's so many really cool things, and I didn't go in there necessarily to talk about religion. I just wanted to go in there and see, what was all about. And, that's what I did with like the Italians, all the other places here. I got to see like the Japanese culture, Chinese culture. That's one of the things I appreciate here is where we all get to come here and share our culture instead of, just keeping it hidden to ourselves.
So the only hard question I'll ask, and it's the hard question I ask everybody,
Okay.
what is it about your culture that you love the most?
My culture as in
whatever culture that you'd identify with.
Well, I got
Whether that's your religious culture, your home culture, is there a family tradition that really you enjoy?
Well, I gotta tell you, me being adopted, I guess I don't really count this as a culture. I come from like an Italian German background. Like I said, I'm adopted, so there's not really much I can say there. I'm not really sure about my own background, but I think I'll go with what you said about my religion is Jesus has been a huge part of my life. He has saved me numerous accounts. I mean, on times there are times where I probably wouldn't have been here today if it weren't for the people that I love and respect today. And Jesus, Jesus saves. He's very he's important to my life because I know that there are other people out there that have been in situations that I'm at, but they don't feel the love, or they're too afraid to feel the love of a God, and they end up doing things that would make Jesus really sad about what are they doing in their life. And sometimes it pains me to see people who are I guess led astray. But me personally, like, I don't know, it's just that if it's yeah that's just Jesus is a huge part of my life, and I wish that everyone would, come to see that. But of course, like I said before, everyone has their own views. They have their own, religion. And like you said here, like about me, like people come here from all different places. And well, I'm not one to, try and, get people to join this or that or convert. But it's, yeah, Jesus, I guess in short, Jesus has been a big part of my life. And in that, I've learned to not try and get as many people as I come to church or not, but show
Yeah.
love and respect. Because you fight, there's a passage in the Bible, I forgot what it's called, but it's do not fight evil with evil, but you fight evil with good.
And the only way out of all of this hate is through love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most moving forward with this event? Have you tried any of the food yet?
Oh,
or-
yeah. I
Yeah.
have.
What's your
Um,
favorite so far?
Well, I've only tried the, what's it called? I don't know. It's like noodles from the Philippines. Yeah, Philippines. Yeah.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
good with some sweet and sour sauce.
Ah.
That in there. Really good. Really good stuff.
Well, thank you so much. We'll let you get back to the event. And come on down, folks. This place is fun, and it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is. We accept everybody here. Thank you
Amen to
so
that.
much. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I'm here with
Patrick Sanders.
Patrick Sanders and Gavin. Patrick, what brings you to World Beat today?
Oh, we love to come to World Beat every year. It's a great festival to kind of get used to seeing what's coming in from outside of other parts of the world. When you have children like this, it's great to get them exposed to other cultures and communities around the world and how they live. For instance, this morning we were learning about Yap. It's an island in the Micronesias. And he told us all about how they live their kind of lives there. And everything is like community-based. When they have a child, it's a 4-day celebration where the men go out fishing every day. The women come in and make food. And then for a whole month, they get supported with dinners and things like that. And how growing up as a boy there is so exciting because everything's done by hand. They build their own ships. They build their own huts. They have to replace the roofs every 2 years with like coconut leaves. They utilize all the things that grow there to make products and stuff like that. So it's just really interesting to get exposed to that right here in our hometown of Salem.
So why is it important to you that to celebrate other people's cultures? Because it's one of those things where anybody that does, I admire them, but it's intentional. So you made a choice,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
What was it about your choice to come here and celebrate cultures?
Because I like to find excuses to have a good time and go to a party and like, just kick it up meet other people in the community and see friends and family and bring them in and just have a good time in whatever weather it is. Usually it's hot. During the festival, it's been 103 degrees, I think when I heard before.
Yeah.
Today it's raining. That's just a nice change. And we just like to come and party and have a good time. We're going to have fun.
So what has been your favorite part up until this point?
Oh, last night we were here.
Oh,
We
how
saw
cool
some
is
really
that?
good music. Yeah, so Friday nights at the festival is nice. They play music from, I think, 5 o'clock, 5:30, all the way up till 9 o'clock when they have the fire dancers and the show and stuff like that. So we really liked yesterday. We liked what was the type of music that we heard yesterday? They had the African beats. And then after that, they did the Zydeco. Zydeco was a lot of fun.
Oh, I love Zydeco.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. That's like those dancing music that just gets to your bones.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Move with the beat, up on
Yeah.
your feet.
And so why is the spaces like this importance for our community?
Oh, you get a safe space like this for people to be able to have what they call like a third use space where we all go to work. We all have a home, hopefully, but not everybody, but you have these two places where you're living and you're working, but then to go out and go into a community, like for instance, like a coffee shop is like a third use space where people like on Cheers, they kind of always went to the same place. Right. And, so it's just good to have that kind of space, good to have green space around you and room to move around and get together with the community members of that you scheduled things with or just happen to run into.
And the only hard question that I'm asking people this entire time is, what is it about your own culture that you love?
My
What-
own culture.
Yeah.
I come from a mix of cultures. I'm part Italian, part French, a little bit of English and Irish mixed in for a good measure, and a little American Indian. And so I like to think of all of especially their cultural beliefs, where it has like, if they have something that they believe in strongly, for instance, like in which culture am I trying to think of? I can't think of a specific example, but I like to sort of bring in all the fun ones from all of them and mix them together. And also, I mean, we're in a melting pot now, right? So anything I come across these days that I learn about that I think is fun and exciting, I can give you one example. Like if I leave the house, I knew some people from Eastern Europe, and there's a culture and a tradition there, sort of like a taboo, that if you leave the house and you forget something, you have to go back in, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. So that's one example of like something that comes from a culture that I carry with me today.
That's fascinating. So the idea is like you have to come back and confront the fact that you forgot something?
Exactly, right.
How
And you also might want to look and make sure there's no like salad greens stuck to your teeth or something. I don't know the reason. Not sure the reasoning of it. Doesn't always have like a logic directly behind it. It might, but if it's just something that I've learned, then I'm like, hey, I like that one. I'm going to do that. So
Yeah.
it's like grow from it.
It's like my good buddy Brandon Logan, who's a guitar player for the Nicky Jones band.
Cool. Yeah.
He has
Love music.
every time he drinks water, he tells the water that he loves the water.
Interesting.
And
I
he
might
said
carry that
it
one
tastes different,
up. That's fine.
that it hydrates different. And he's like, try an experiment
I believe that.
and
to be
say you
true,
love
yeah.
the water. And then the next
Right.
time you yell at the water and see the difference.
I love it. That's
I'm like,
great. You hear that,
I'm gonna
Gavin?
try
Isn't
that.
that fun?
Yeah.
Well, water is a life-giving source for sure. And H2O is where it's at.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for interviewing me today. I appreciate it.
Of course. And what would you tell people who are on the fence if they're thinking about coming down
now.
here?
It's
Yeah.
only
Right?
a 2-day event. You got to make it in. It doesn't matter the weather. Don't let the rain keep you away.
And this is a place where everybody's smiling, folks. Everyone is welcome here.
Yes.
And it's just a good time.
A lot of good stages to see good performances too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then have you had any of the food yet?
Let's see. Yes, I did last night. I went to, I think it's called Orion, really good food over on the side where this big
Yeah.
stage is. And they have their Taste of the World for $5. It's a really good plate of chicken, like a special chicken mix with citrus flavors in it and rice. And it's super good. $5 just goes a long ways.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to the event. Thanks for
Thank you so
stopping
much. I
by.
appreciate it.
Come on down to the World Beat, folks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Moses. I'm here with Israel and Moses. What brings you all to World Beat today?
So it's my first time of coming, and I'm here to I just heard about it recently, and I feel like let me just go get what's happening.
I love it. How about yourself?
Yeah, this is my third time. It's fun. I always come every year because I know I just see different cultures and stuff, and that's actually fun to see. You know.
How important is it to have spaces like this where you can embrace other cultures as a place where everybody can get along?
I mean, it's extremely important, like to just see people that haven't, for example, for me, I'm from Nigeria, like to see people that have not tasted like African food, just to see for the first time, it's actually fun. And I'm going around now just to see if I can taste some food from other places that I haven't
Yeah.
tasted from. So
So for me, it's kind of new. I'm seeing this for the first time in the US. I'm seeing different cultures, different dance steps, different foods, different games, just different before. So it's kind of interesting. I'll be willing to see that next time.
And how important is it for people to be kind to each other these days?
Oh, it's very important to be kind because you can never tell what the next person is going to be. So there's no second chance to make first impression. Just a tiny word can change anything.
Because like we fall in this trap of people who aren't kind usually aren't kind because they don't know anything about the other person. And we are so much more connected and we have so much more in common than we do have differently across all cultures. Like, why can't we lead with being human first and just love your fellow man?
You're first human before any other thing. Before you become a doctor, you're first a human.
Yeah.
Engineer, you're just a human. It's important to take note of that anytime you meet the next person.
And what's been your favorite thing with the event so far today?
So for me, the music, different kind of music I've been hearing, and different musical instrument that I'm seeing today. It's kind of on different foods.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Basically just the culture, just to see the way other culture like present their foods, presents their. Now I love food, but just to see like different culture and how they present, it kind of reminds me of home, and just like, okay, it's just a big world that we're just existing just to help each other and love each other the more.
And how important is it to see your culture in other spaces?
It's fun. It shows that it's not just limited, but just this people that are just moving just to impact the world in the best way and making a good impression in the best way we can. And we pray we'll continue to make the right impression, just like I said. You can't make the first impression twice. You can only make it once. So
yeah.
For me, I feel like many people are interested in know more about my culture. Like people come around to see the food, diverse food that we have, and they're so much interested. And many compliments. Oh, this tastes so good. Tastes so nice. So we feel glad that okay, to the other people out there that still want to know more about us, they are getting to know that.
And then talk a little bit about your experience here in this country. Like, why is it important that people spend some time learning about your culture?
Yeah, it's important because as human, we are learning things, and we learn everywhere we go, except if you are not intentional about learning. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new out there that you don't know. Whatever we know is just a part of it. There's so many other things that we don't know. That are open to learning, then you'll be able to learn. So it's kind of good that you're open to learning about other cultures and other cultures. You need to learn more about us.
exactly just the same thing. I'm just gonna echo what he has just said now.
So the only hard question that I'll ask for this interview, what is one thing about your culture that you love?
So for me, we care about people. We care about other people so much and we respect people not like kind of in our words, in our gestures, kind of respect, honor people, we respect people. Yeah,
That's beautiful. How about yourself?
I mean, I wish I had gone first. So it's like, I think respect is one thing in our culture that it has been instilled in us when we were younger, just to know that irrespective of the status quo, the level the person is, you just have to give respect to who respect is due. And I think that has really helped us to be able to see the world in a better place. Just knowing how to respect people, and we know that it's going to come back to us regardless of how we live our life in a good way. So I guess that's one thing I know for sure.
And the one thing I would add to that is if you make a commitment to respect and kindness, the world pays you back with respect and kindness.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because, like, where else can you have these conversations? Like, the people, how do I say this? People today rely on the media to have a narrative about other people. That's not us.
Yeah.
We are different. We're different because we are human. And why can't we lead the conversation with you're human, I'm human, let's break bread together? Yeah.
It's important to do for people wherever they get us. Important to socialize, learn to treat people kindly. And I believe so much in do unto others as you want them to do to you.
Yes.
Which is a people in a way. So, which is part of my principle that I work with. So, what you don't want people to
Don't do to them.
so
Yeah.
for want people to be care or to be kind to you,
Be kind to
kind
them.
to them. However, it's not in every space that happens. So in my own divination, I give it, I didn't expect it. So if you don't give to me, I believe that's the best the person can offer. I move on. But I ensure that I offer that kindness, no matter how convenient or not it is.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sean.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you. Enjoy the event.
Yeah.
So, Joe, welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. What brings you to World Beat?
Just wanted to, or my friend invited me and wanted to see what it was all about. I've been in Oregon for a while, and I don't know, seemed like fun.
So, why the shirt, Humanity? Is it something to do, or?
I just liked it. I mean, I like to think that I hold those values, and I don't know. I just like the artwork that it had with the cherry blossoms.
So, what does it mean to you when you hear that people need to be kind to one another?
Ooh. I mean, to accept everyone as they are, and build. I like the saying we need to build bridges, not build walls.
I love that.
I mean, there are so many different ways of thinking and different points of view, and I think a lot of strife, at least in our current climate, as not just in the country but also in the world, is not being able to understand or fully keep an open mind with other points of view.
And so, one of the things that I'm always curious about was that something that you always felt, or was that something you learned later on in life?
I think just how I grew up was a little we taught that a lot more, but definitely as I grew up, it's definitely solidified more. But I mean, just in my family in general, we've always tried to practice what we preach in that sense. But I mean, just in the sense of with the political climate and just everything, a lot of us had to grow up a little bit quicker than we usually thought, with the pandemic and other recent recent developments.
Yeah. So, why is it important for us to have spaces like this, do you think?
I mean, there's so many, but I think that giving a space, but also having representation, that it's not just a, I mean, one ethnicity, one culture that we live in, especially in the US, because we're supposed to be a sort of melting pot of many different cultures. And I think a lot of people like to think that we're of all similar backgrounds, which obviously we are not. But I mean, we are all American, but there are different t- um, backgrounds that make us American.
And I think we're better off because we have all of those
Oh,
cultures.
100%. I mean, if we're just talking about like, I definitely see a bunch of different food vendors. We wouldn't have half of the different food vendors of not just here but in general, for like Mexican food, sushi, or Japanese inspired, Filipino, all of that stuff. We wouldn't, like, many of the foods that we've adopted have had uh, um international influence.
And then in terms of like a community space like this, have you seen kind of the same thing I have where everybody here has a smile on their face?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Mhm. And so, when it comes to you and sort of like an event like this, has there been something that has stood out that you like more than anything else, or like something you're like, oh, that was cool?
Um. No, I mean, I think it's all wonderful. I did like a lot of the African areas, or so a lot of the countries in Africa getting much more represented. And there's a vendor over there that have a lot of wood carvings, which I enjoyed. But also just the hand weave, what is it? The hand weave baskets, the kind of like bowls, a lot of that stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was at Shemakata, we did a lot. I took an art class that did Native American bead weaving, and it reminded me a lot of that, which I thought was cool.
And what would you say to anybody who might be on the fence to come to a place like this?
What will it hurt? I mean, there's either yeah. I mean, there are so many different things that might appeal to everyone, or I don't know. New experiences. There's not really anything I would say that's what's the word? It's a place to share community.
Yeah.
There's not m- much backlash, or not. I wouldn't say backlash. Downsides.
And then the last question, which is the only hard question that I ask, do you have a family tradition or a culture, something about your culture that you love?
Oh, 100%. My family is Greek, and a lot of the food that we cook, I've just enjoyed. My family and I do a feast every Christmas to um what is we cook a lot of our favorite dishes. Um Also just the philosophies, like Greek philosophies, and also just of the minds of Greek philosophers, but also of academics.
Yeah.
Academics in my family is a very big thing.
I love everything about that. And then the last question, is there anything that you want to see that you haven't seen yet while you're here?
I To be honest, I haven't seen a whole lot of like Mediterranean stuff. So like
Okay.
Greek, what else? Turkey, a lot of that stuff. I mean, they do have the Greek festival up in Portland every October,
Mm-hmm.
first week of October, which is nice. But just here, I'll maybe like Italian, Greek, some of that stuff I think would be nice to see. Not saying that the rest of it isn't nice, and we get to see a little bit more of the more exotic or underrepresented countries maybe here, but just I don't know, maybe a little bit more of that. I'd say maybe in South Asia, so maybe like so we have Filipino, maybe like Indian or Indonesian, stuff like that, or I'd say maybe more, a little bit more like that, or maybe more of a few more of the Slavic countries. So
Yeah.
like I know we have a really big Russian population here in Oregon, so maybe more Russian, or maybe more of that area. So like chat or the shoot, what is it? So yeah, Russian or any more of those, I'd say.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Come on down to the World Beat, folks. You won't be disappointed. So, JJ, what brings you to World Beat today?
You know, my daughter is here visiting, and yeah, she brought her partner and her friends, her family out here. So we said, World Beat's going on. Why not come check it out?
So
Yeah.
why is it that spaces like this are needed this day and age?
I just feel like, you know, this is something where, you know, you don't just get one perspective. You come here and you get a little bit of everybody's perspective. And like, yeah, it's just so much fun just to see everyone else. Like, not only are you represented, right, but you get to see everyone else represented. You get to share in everyone's culture and everything. And like, I'm a big foodie, and like, I love trying everybody else's kind of food out there. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. Everybody's in a good mood to be here. Like, I feel like it's just worth it. Even with the rain, there's still a good showing out here. So I feel it worked out well.
Because I think more spaces like this are needed, because like any chance you can get to be your authentic self and just be accepted,
Absolutely.
like,
Absolutely.
game changer.
Yeah.
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 So how long have you been coming to World Beat? Is this your first time?
So we actually, no, but we haven't been here in a few years. So this is the first time we've been here in probably like 4 years. Yeah. And I feel like it gets bigger every time we come back. Yeah. So
What have you seen the difference like between now and then?
like in the beginning, like I remember in the beginning, like there wasn't even like a stage where they're doing their dances out there right now. Back then, people were just dancing in the middle of the field in the very beginning, right? There's always been food here, and just the vendors have become more, you know, that more, there's just a lot more volume of vendors out here. So you can walk around a lot more. It's not just one big circle. Now you kind of got a maze, or you can get lost in yourself. Yeah. Just explore. It really is that exploring like you're exploring the world here in a small, tiny space, right?
And how important is it to see your culture outside of your own community?
You know, I think it's great just because, you know, everybody I know, whenever like try our food or something like that, everyone appreciates it. And just to see others, like strangers, coming and trying stuff like that, you know, just enjoying the artwork and everything else. Like, you know, like I know I'm an islander, and I see a lot of different kind of islanders who kind of do the same thing, but each one has its own little different flavor, right? Just so, yeah, every little different dialect, everyone does things a little bit different. And it's awesome to see how everyone else does it, and other people enjoy our own way as well.
Yeah, because one of the things that's been fascinating about this process, I've been doing this for about 3 years,
Okay.
is we have way more in common than we have apart.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when you can attend other cultural events and other cultures, you kind of like, oh, wait, like we're all in the same melting pot. Like we're all people. We all want love, respect, and we all want the opportunity to like provide for our families.
Yeah. And
Like, why can't the conversation start there?
exactly. Everyone's having fun together, not apart. Everyone's having fun together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know about you, but one of the things I appreciate about this place is that there's not a mean mug anywhere.
No, not at all.
Like this is like a place of love and acceptance.
Hmm. Yeah, everyone's just smiling. Everyone's smiling or in deep thought as they're staring at something they've never seen before, right? It's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only hard question that I ask for this podcast today, and I don't know why it's a hard question, but what is it about your culture that you love?
You know, it's just it is a hard question. It is a hard question. You know, like I know everyone's gonna say family and stuff, but I feel like saying family isn't just about like your brothers and sisters or parents. It's really just about what came with that whole institution, right? It's the food. It's, you know, it's the culture. It's just being raised in a certain way, and, you know, being able to respect each other, you know, and like, yeah, like a lot of my people who moved down here from the islands, right? Like they act kind of the same, and we're in a different climate. You know, it's still rainy, but it's not hot rain anymore.
Yeah.
It's not,
That's the difference, folks.
Yeah. You go to the beach here, and you get in the water, you need a wetsuit. That's the main difference. But nothing changes, right? You still come here, you still act the same. Everybody, you know, everybody's still just that, you know, that friendly, welcoming vibe that you have on a tropical area. It spreads out in this whole Northwest as well.
And I love that philosophy that a lot of the people that I met from your culture have of rooted in kindness.
Right.
Why is there such a commitment to that kindness piece in your culture?
I feel like it's just a thing where, like, everybody does their part, but nobody can do everything together, right? That whole, I mean, I know it doesn't come from the islands, but that whole, it takes a village, like, that's very well represented in our islands as well, right? Like, you can't do everything yourself, and everybody understands that. You need somebody to help do this. You need to have people sharing responsibility. Otherwise, you fail, or you get left behind.
100%. And anybody who says that the individual ruggedism is a thing, I'm sorry, folks. You have a cell phone. It took more than you to build that cell phone.
Absolutely.
We are a part of a huge community regardless.
Absolutely. You asked Google a question that did not come from you.
Yeah. So what has been your favorite part so far today?
So, I mean, we just got here like 30 minutes ago, maybe, but just seeing everybody. We've been walking around. I saw like the Hawaiian artwork over there where the guy was like,
it's beautiful. Isn't
yeah.
it?
And he was trying to give you tattoo prints and everything. And like, I'd seen tribal stuff my whole life, and just him explaining what each little symbol meant like that was super cool to me.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. Yeah.
And what would you say to people there that are maybe on the fence to coming to an event like this?
I mean, I'd say just like, you have to come and try it. If you're a foodie, they got all the kinds of food you have. If you're just interested in seeing like what other people do, how other people like decorate their houses or just represent themselves, this is the place to go. Definitely.
And you can get exposure to so many cultures here that you may not even know exist.
Absolutely. Just this whole tent row of flags, all these different flags, and like, you might not know who they are. Just walk up to the booth and find out. Yeah.
So do you have anything to promote, organization, company like that, or are you just here by yourself?
I'm just here with a family. Yeah, if I can do a self-promotion thing.
Please.
So
Yeah.
A year and a half ago, me and my wife, we just started a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym in Woodburn. So Siri Woodburn, if anyone in that area needs a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, we're there for you.
So I would love to invite you on to talk about just that. We don't have time to sort of get into it, but I have so many questions about jiu-jitsu, man.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, hey, it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, so I'm here with Dottie and Dabina, right?
That is correct.
Oh, so what brings you to World Beat today?
All the different cultures.
So why is it important to you that we celebrate all of these cultures?
Because there's so many people out there that don't understand the other different cultures. And they get so judgmental about people. And this gives them an idea that people are people. We're all the same. We all have hands and arms and legs. And just because we have different skin colors or eyes doesn't make us any different. We were all from the same creator.
And I really appreciate that perspective, because I think there's a difference between the world that you see in the media and the world that really exists. Because I think more people think like us about everybody than are the divisive ones that usually get the voice. How important is it for like spaces like this where people can come along and just be and be happy?
There aren't any.
Yeah.
I used to work here for many, many years doing this, being a part of this, supporting it. And now I'm just one of the people walking around. So, but yes, it's so important for people to understand this.
And I absolutely adore your dog.
Why, thank you.
Is it a Chihuahua mix?
No, she's full-blooded deer Chihuahua.
Full-blooded deer Chihuahua. Oh my goodness, what a face. How long have you had her?
She's almost 4 years old. She'll be 4 on the 28th of this month.
Aww. Do you find that everybody's more accepting of you bringing her wherever you need to go?
I still have struggles on the trains, trains and buses, because they don't want the dog hair, how they want the fees. I don't think it's fair.
I don't think so either.
I mean, a service animal is a service animal. It doesn't matter what purpose it is. And people frown on it. They just, they got allergies or this or that. You can't set them down. Look, this dog serves a purpose, and it does something for me, and it keeps me well.
And the part that frustrates me the most in those conversations, because I used to have a service dog, and I have been kicked out of so many places. And when you speak up, it's almost like they feel it's your fault, and they blame you, and they act like this is a conversation that is all your fault. But in the reality, like, no, this is your fault. You're making the big deal out of it. If you didn't make a big deal out of it, nobody would even know that I had a dog here.
Exactly.
Like, why can't we have a conversation and start that way?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had to tell train drivers, bus people, and tell them, do you want a lawsuit? Because if you do, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
And I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I said, "You don't have a right to ask me what my dog does, what service she does. She's got her little vest, she doesn't have it on. Didn't expect it to be hot, but I have a tag. It doesn't matter. They don't have that right to ask that question. That's personal."
And I really appreciate that you bring that up because I think a lot of people may not understand that. If you ask somebody about their specific disability, you're breaking the law,
Yes,
folks.
you are violating your 5th Amendment.
Yeah. And so how important is it for you to have your service animal?
I couldn't go out around people if I didn't have her. Okay? I can't do people without my dog.
And I don't think people understand that that is not only legitimate, but that's one of those things that if a dog allows you to be in places and allows you to have a human experience, then by all means, let somebody have a dog.
It brings some safety and comfort,
Yeah.
and for her, I suffer agoraphobia. So being around people and crowds like this, she gives me that sense of I'm okay, I'm safe, and she's going to keep me that way.
Yeah. And I have this experience with mine. It was unfortunately mine has passed, but is it the same with you and your service dog where your dog can tell which people to avoid?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. Yes, ma'am.
And
She is very, very smart.
the reason I say that is because I do a lot of work in the disability advocacy space. And what I tell parents with children with autism is to give them a service dog that will help them determine who is safe and who isn't safe.
Yes.
And even that right there is a service that is needed because
Beyond-
they are so perceptive.
They know the good people from the bad,
Yeah.
and they know who to. Yes, they're the bomb. I wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world.
So what has been your favorite part of this event so far?
The African in that over here, I love them over here. I've known them for years, and they just, I don't know, it's just a different kind of culture.
She's fine.
Okay. Well, I don't want her to jump down.
Oh, I get that. You don't want her to take off. Yeah.
She doesn't go very far, trust me.
Yeah.
I think she's more needy of me than I am of her.
See, and I appreciate that, right? Because I have a dog now that I would love to be a service dog, but because he doesn't have recall and he's not respectful, I
Right.
can't good conscience call him a service dog.
Hey,
Hi.
come here, baby.
Oh, she's so cute. So what would you like to say to people that might be on the fence about coming to a place like this? Hey, Becca.
I would tell them not to be on the fence about it, to realize that this is an opportunity for young children, not just young children, but adults in themselves, to learn the different cultures and the different things. And it teaches you to respect each one for who they are.
And why is respect so important these days?
Because so many people in this world don't give a hoot's ass. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You can swear on this podcast.
People are so self-centered and so closed-minded, okay? And this opens people's minds. It gives them an insight into everything. And it's so important. And the part in the evening part when they do the different flags and that down to the stage, that right there is an education that you can't give a child.
Yeah.
Not in any school or anything. I mean, this place, what they give here is absolutely the best thing for anybody.
And the piece that I love about this place is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your background. It doesn't matter what your religion. You
there's
are
no
welcome
judgment.
here.
That's right. There's no judgment.
Yeah.
Everybody is welcome.
And as somebody on the autism spectrum, those are the hardest spaces to find sometimes.
Yes, they are. I used to be on the dragon boats too.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yes, the first year I raced on one of those dragon boats, I was on the severely disabled, the blinded ones. We won first place. We got a gold medal. And after that, I started doing the dragon boats, went up to Portland racing. I mean, I did it for years.
And what keeps you coming back here every year?
The people,
Yeah.
food,
Yeah.
the good time, without it costing you an arm and a leg.
And then the only hard question I'm asking today is what is one thing about either a tradition or a culture that you have that you love the most?
Music.
Oh, yeah.
I think music lightens the soul.
It's the universal language that opens up energy
Yes, it
amongst
is.
everybody in the room.
Music is everything.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank
That-
you. Thank you for having me.
Are you kidding? How could I not? Like,
I'm honored.
yeah, you exude kindness, you exude sweetness, and your dog is absolutely adorable.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll get you back to the event.
Okay.
And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. We're here with Ken. Ken, what brings you to World Beat today?
World Beat, just the name itself, World Beat Festival, sign me up.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear world something coming together to do stuff, I mean,
Why are these spaces so important today of all days?
well, apart from the rain, I guess I look at the rain as the joy of God.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, I bless you guys. But no, a day like this, I've been coming to World Beat Festival for some time now, and it is a unique gathering for the human race,
Yeah.
and the even the arrangement, Europe, Africa, Asia, Middle East, United Nations. And so that uniqueness of a gathering and celebration of cultures that this entails makes me not to miss it every day.
And I love the fact that this is a space where everyone is welcome and everyone celebrates different cultures. Because we get caught up sometimes in judgment before we even know anything about somebody else's culture. And what I have found is when you leave your heart open and you explore another culture, there's so many more things that are alike between us than are different between us. And this is just an opportunity for people to get together and just say, hey, I love you too, man.
You said it all right.
Yeah.
I mean, humans, the only thing different, if you peel off this skin, you wouldn't tell if I'm black or white.
Yeah.
Once you peel off this skin. And language. If you learn my language, I'm from Nigeria. We speak Igbo in the southeastern part of Nigeria. If you learn to speak Igbo tomorrow, and you're behind the door talking, nobody will know that you're a white dude.
Yeah.
Right. Who is that Igbo guy? Uh-oh. So, point being that we are all same. It happens that geography, culture, and sociology, they all made us different, which is the beauty of the human race. I tell my friends, if everybody is black, if everybody is white, if everybody is Asian, this world would be so boring.
Oh, you're not wrong. Yeah. Can you imagine just having the same cultural food every single day your entire life?
Right.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I had that yesterday. No chance to go. Okay, let me go try some Mexican food here.
Yeah.
Let me go sample some Italian beer. And then,
Mhm.
so we should be thankful to the creator, whomever we believe that made this planet. That guy he considered everything
Yeah.
before he made it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I appreciate what you said about regardless of your view of who the creator is, because that shouldn't matter. Your faith is your faith, and you should be respected to believe your faith to your core.
Absolutely, yes. I
And-
said that consciously because again, is a part of the beauty of the human race. We do not fit in the same bowl in terms of belief and
Yeah.
religion. Whatever you profess, it's fine. Do good to human race. Whatever I profess, it's fine. Do good to human race. That's the common denominator. And like the old saying, all roads lead to Rome. I don't know
Yeah.
if you heard that.
Yeah.
So philosophically, theologically, the way I look at religion is that illustration of all roads leading to Rome, here is Rome. meaning heaven, God. And there are so many roads to get home. There is a Christian highway. There's a Muslim highway. There is Hindu highway. There's African traditional worship highway. Stay on your own highway, obey the rules and the speed limits of that highway, you get to your destination. Everyone gets there. Simple. I mean, you won't be driving on Christian highway and you try to impose Muslim road rules on Christian highway. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
But drive on your own way. We'll get home the same place.
Yeah. And as long as you have that love for your fellow man along the way, because I don't know of a single religion or a single deity that doesn't hold love for your man and love for humanity first.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so, how important is it for you to see your culture represented outside of your own space?
So wonderful. It's so wonderful because it's like, how do they say it? If mountain cannot go to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain. In this case, come on, how many of us here living in Oregon can have the time and resources to jet out to Africa, to Europe, to Asia, to experience their life and way of living? Not so many of us can afford to do that. I don't know if you're a traveler. I don't know how much you've traveled around the globe. But here you are in your little neck of the wood. The world comes to you.
Yeah.
You should be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the part that I love about this place is everyone is smiling. Everyone is just happy to be here. And there's no pressure. There's no like agenda. There's no nothing other than come celebrate people and come celebrate life. And those are the spaces that I love the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that this is a weekend that 10 million things one could be doing today.
Yeah.
But one chooses to be here. He belongs. That's
Yeah.
a place for it. And folks like you who put these things in the air, you guys are the climax of the whole thing. We can all do this, and the NC everywhere goes, and nobody knows there was a Salem World Beat Festival. There was love all over the waterfront.
Yeah.
You and folks in the media, you amplify it. Great job.
And the scary part, though, is that most of the mainstream media doesn't have these conversations. Like, I haven't seen the news here today at all.
You know what? From my own where I'm sitting, and they play that card every day mostly in the African continent. Peace and love doesn't make the news. It
Yeah.
doesn't sell the paper. It doesn't buy you advertisement time. But oh man, if there's a shootout here today,
It would be front news.
it's front news.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here is love.
But here's
No,
love.
It's not even talked about.
Yeah. Which has always confused me ever since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, one of the things that my father instilled upon me was to have this sense of curiosity of others.
Okay.
And a life lesson that I learned, because I look white, my brother looks native. I had a vastly different experience in life than he did, just because I look a little more whiter than he did.
Yes.
And so when you hear stories like that, this is why places like this need to happen, because you have no idea what anybody has been through before they come and interact with you. So if you're going to judge somebody without knowing anything about them, knowing about their culture, knowing about that's something on you. That's not on the person that's sitting in front of you.
Sure.
Because if you change and you're like, tell me more,
Right.
sky's the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. I think in my office, there's this Native American, Al Lajimadira, I work with. He has this plaque in his office. He says, before you criticize me, walk a mile in my moccasin.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Right. I'm like, the word moccasin wasn't in my vocabulary by then. I'm like, what is that? So it's an Indian Native American footwear. I said, oh, now it makes the whole world of sense. Before you can talk about me or criticize me, come wear my shoe and walk on it. Then we talk.
And so I want to ask the only hard question from this whole podcast.
Yeah.
What is one thing about your culture that you love? Hard question.
Yeah, hard question. There are numerous things, but the one that stands out for me and is community. We have such a informal social network, social security, that there's no way I'll be eating a slice of bread and noticing that you're salivating for 3 days. You haven't even had a drink of water. And so that's his business. He's a lazy man. Let him go find his own bread. No, I'll split that bread into two and here, mister, here's for you. So that's how a typical village in Nigeria works. We do not have the social government, social systems that we have here in America. Your social network is your village. And I'm sure you heard the saying, it takes a village
Yeah.
to raise a child. The root of it is from the African continent. I'm pretty sure it's from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria, because we do that every day. So
I really appreciate that. And one of the reasons I really appreciate that is I'm on the autism spectrum. And one of the things that we say all the time is that if you have a child with autism, it takes a village to raise that child. And that has been a saying that has been beaten like a drum in our community for years. And I'm honored that I now know the origination of the statement that we use on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
yeah,
So thank you.
we come from the Igbo people of Nigeria.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this much, folks. If you have never had Nigerian food, you are missing the F out.
That's right.
Oh my
That's
God, it's the best ever.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. The jollof rice, the fufu, the fried plantain, the akara, the moi moi is in the West African region, right? Look at in the West Africa, there is this serious competition and debate between Ghana and Nigeria, who makes the best jollof rice.
Interesting.
And of course, Nigeria being the big boy of Africa, we said, it's us. Ghana, we taught you guys how to do this. But Ghana said, really? You did? Anyway, so that's a friendly food fight. Ghana, Nigeria.
I love everything about that. And my last question is, for anybody that has never been to the World Beats, why do you think it's important for people to come and support this event?
Really, it goes back to all we've been talking about before, the coming together of the human race.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to this festival, make time. It runs 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Find 2-3 hours in any of these 3 days. Come out here. No matter the mindset you have about Asia, Europe, Africa, Native American, come here, you will go home a changed person.
And everyone here will welcome you with open arms.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
hungry too. There are a lot of food.
So I'm going to let you go eat, but thank you so much for stopping by.
You're welcome.
And
Thanks
it's
for
been an
having-
honor to have a conversation with you. Enjoy the rest of World Beat.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you.
Go ahead and... So before
There we go.
start, she said it was kind of like about trying to see the positives and...
Yeah, so I started the podcast because I got tired of the only shows and TV and everything you see has to deal with death, murder, and hatred. And so I started a podcast about kindness and humanity and community. And I talked to people about why it's important to be in places like this. Because what we see as people is different than what the media says we are as people. And so I like to talk to people and give a sense of like who people are, because we are so much more kind and compassionate in general
That's
than what is led to be the belief. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm staying out of the rain for this.
Yeah. So, Ivy, thank you so much for joining us. What brings you to World Beat today?
Well, the truth is that I'm here because I needed a place to go where it wouldn't look like I was loitering, where there were enough people around that it would be relatively safe. I'm a human trafficking survivor, and I had been staying at my uncle's, and his son, unfortunately, is a really bad person who assaulted me badly, and I'm trying to set something up for the next couple nights, but being in a crowd of people that are kind of there for a like-minded, positive thing, it brings up my energy, and you don't have that one person that's a trafficker there stalking you off to the side in the middle of a weird place. Because my uncle's it isn't safe. There are warrants out for my cousin, but the police have not contacted me to tell me he's been arrested yet, so
Oh, I'm so sorry.
but it's a lot better than I get to go somewhere that's
Yeah.
be around people and experience things, because I've been kinda isolated because of what's going on in my health and stuff, you know?
Well, and I'm glad you're here. And the question I'm curious about is, how important is it for safe spaces like this to exist?
Well, recently, I've showed up to several events like this. In fact, I volunteered at the Juneteenth with the Baha'i faith had 2 tables, one for children, and I never even saw the other table. I was volunteering at the children's table. And when I did, it was everybody coming together for this purpose, and, you know, there's so much hate, racism against the LGBT plus community, everything everywhere. And there was just such good energy and these children doing fun things. And you're getting these stupid little free things that shouldn't really mean anything, because really you don't need them, but somehow they make you feel good, you know? And I'm sitting there volunteering, and this little girl comes up. She's 12 years old. Nobody else is there. And I'm helping her make her little beads and stuff. And children, they can lose an accent just like that. So she had an American accent. I didn't notice anything. And then I hear her talking on the phone to her dad, and I'm understanding some of it. It's Russian. So I asked her about it, where she was originally from, and she starts saying that she came over for asylum in 2021. And I tell her that my husband and my 10-year-old son have been my husband's leader of Russian resistance, and they had not been able to get out of Russia. And so we start kind of talking about this, and there was this connection between us. At one point, she mentioned, I asked her if she had been able to go back to see her family there, because she came with her parents, but I know people have other family generally. And she said no, and that, it made her really sad not to be able to see her family. But she starts trying to defend, look, we still have a Russian passport, you know, it's dangerous. And I stopped her right there. I said, you don't need to defend yourself. When my son was 9, him and his dad were nearly beheaded by the FSB. It was Ukrainian defenders who saved their life. It occupied Ukraine. You don't have to defend yourself, because I know how dangerous it is. I'm not suggesting that you're. And the thing about the story about what happened to my husband and son that's really touching to me is none of those Ukrainian defenders sat there and said, well, should we do this differently? That's a Russian child. That's a Russian man they're about to execute. Maybe we shouldn't risk our lives. Maybe we should stand back and let this be, because we have thousands of kidnapped Ukrainian children being murdered by these people. They torture, the Russians rape and torture. No, they saw 2 human beings, one which was a child at that, and they didn't care. They stepped in. And when they did, my son, my husband has taught him Ukrainian. and many of them spoke English as well, and I'm not 100% sure the language my son was speaking in, but I know that my son ran up to the one of the generals that was there at the time and gave him a hug and said that he was going to grow up to be a brave Ukrainian defender like his mom's friends, and talked about my friend Marco, who had recently died defending Ukraine. And he was just so happy, and then he ran over and hugged a couple of the other guys, and, you know, I because my son sees injustice, and he wants to be a part of the solution. Nobody deserves to be treated that way by a government or by anybody, regardless of if it's their own citizens, if it's, y you know, another country's citizens. It doesn't matter.
And first, I want to say thank you for sharing that emotional and difficult story. And second, this goes to everybody listening. There is a difference between a government and a people. So just because the people live in a country doesn't mean we should hold them to account for their government. We need to treat people like they're people. And when we come across situations like that, that's exactly what proves to us about humanity. Because when we love each other, we're so much more powerful. And when you tell me that story about that girl who has the Russian passport and is afraid, it's the judgment from people that hold her to account just because of where she was born. That does not make her any less of a human. And so, like, if you hear somebody's from Russia, if you hear somebody's from Ukraine, treat them like people first, because that's what they are. Oh, that was powerful.
And um, you go further into that, you know, my son has since gotten safely into Ukraine. Now, one of the things that has been difficult for him there is children internalize everything.
Yeah.
And some of the people there will say the only good Russian is a dead Russian. Now, what they mean is the only good occupier is a dead occupier. None of these Ukrainians want Russian civilians killed. They don't want children killed. But he doesn't want people to know he's Russian for that reason, because he doesn't want them to think that he um, agrees with any of these things happening. And so I've started telling people, word that differently. Say the only good occupier is a dead occupier, because I think that if someone is occupying your land and they're to take it, then that does apply. But that people hear, I think adults can understand that, but children, they hear things, they internalize them. And I mean, I know with my husband being leader of the Russian resistance, I know a lot of resistance members, including those who have given their lives, including one particular one that was from Oregon. And she was Russian American. So she was, I believe she was adopted in Canada and then adopted from Russia to Canada and immigrated here. But unfortunately, her adopted parents were FSB, which was the former KGB. But she made her own choices, and she grew up to be Russian resistance. And she helped which was between, I think she was there in person for some operations, but also just with intelligence, the rescue of over 1,000 Ukrainians who had been kidnapped, mostly children, women and children. And as a result of that, when she was back here in Oregon where she lived, the FSB had her life partner, they were holding her captive, and said, look, we're torturing her, we'll let her live, but you got to jump off a bridge. They had that bridge covered. There was no escape for her. The likelihood she would have been tortured long term if she had not jumped herself as well would have been very likely. So this actually, she was living in Oregon, but it occurred in Washington State, the bridge situation. She took her Bible and jumped. She was an unidentified picture of her, and because she was still undercover with the FSB, there, if you are transgender or gay or anything like that, by it's a death sentence. So
Immediate.
she was only out to 3 people, including me. She was my husband's sister. She had not even told him. So I use her preferred name Kayla now that she's dead because she has that. Now I don't blame people who knew her by her legal name who used that because she was not out to them. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, so I was the one who saw the drawing of her
No.
and I reached out to another of their siblings who was able to prove, hey, look, we're related, whatever, so she could get the dignity she deserves. And it's just it broke my heart, and the sacrifice she made to not tell anybody, or hardly anybody. I know her partner knew, I knew, and her one sister who's also transgender knew, but nobody else knew, and that's a huge sacrifice for a transgender person to continue to present male.
Yeah.
And, my son I mentioned came out to me as non-binary about a year ago. Now, he has said that he likes he and she pronouns. He likes to be called both my son and my daughter, but is not comfortable with they pronouns. But when he was in Russia, I had to tell him, look, while you're there, you have to present male. You still have to use he pronouns. You still have to use the alias you use. I said, as soon as you're in Ukraine, you dress however you want, any name you want, any pronouns you want. But you've already nearly been executed just because your father opposed the government there. We can't risk this.
And I respect that conversation so much. It's interesting that you kind of said that because I was talking to somebody just the other week, and she was transgender. And one of my most favorite experiences so far has been gone to Memphis for the Blues Challenge. And I invited her there. And she said the most profound thing is that I don't know if it's safe there. Like, I have to be careful where I travel, even in the United States, because some spaces aren't safe for some people. And the fact that that exists in our country today is very sad to me.
Texas is really bad. I mean, all the southern states are really bad. And I mean, honestly, anywhere your safety can be at risk from it, but it's much worse in certain areas.
Yeah. And so,
And I was targeted for being with somebody who was transgender and dressed as, female presenting in Texas myself.
that's so terrible. And so, and I'm glad that you came here today. So how important is it that there is a space that's safe for people to go?
I mean, any space that is safe for everybody, you have so many marginalized groups. And what I went through being human trafficked, you deal with anyone associated with those people will consider you owned for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter if they have control of you. You are property. So you will have people trying to assault you and do things. And I was personally used for breeding. And my child was the next victim. I was expected to sell her, and I said over my dead body, but I couldn't stop them. And my daughter loves stuff like this, okay? She's 7 now. There are way more people that are victims of trafficking than you know, because most people don't talk about it because they think not talking about it will keep them safer. I didn't have that luxury because the last time I saw my daughter, she was 4 years old. She was covered in injuries from multiple rape. She gave me graphic details. I went to every agency in the United States that had jurisdiction, including with a book of evidence to the FBI, and they wouldn't do anything. So I had to go public. I had to put my face out there, my child's pictures out there, everything, so everybody knows. It, Ivy Mackesy, my stuff's everywhere. Justice for Blue, spelled like blue cheese, and I did that for years after that, until I get to you. I have not physically seen my daughter since August, in person, August 13th, 2023. But what so most of the time you don't know people are sometimes the person themselves doesn't know they're trafficked because they think they just have they just think they were manipulated into a relationship with somebody that if they leave them is going to kill them. They don't know that their mother sold them to that person or that an organization is involved as well and or with children, they often don't know money's changing hands, or they just think their partner is talking them into having sex with someone else. They don't know money's changing hands. So the victim may not know, but there are so many people out there who are, and I'm not telling other victims, come forward and put your face out there. I did what I had to do for my daughter in the situation I was in. But there are people like that. There are people, immigrants that are going through what being marginalized even worse than they ever were now with what's going on with ICE. And the thing with it is that children especially need safe places they can go. You got things for children to play and be kids here. And, that, even if it's not with the therapist saying this is play therapy, playing different activities, that's therapy for kids, you don't know how many children might be stopping by here who are actually trafficked in their daily lives that are coming here because either one of their parents doesn't know, let's say, or the grandparent doesn't know, or it's to make it look normal. But this may be the only normal moment of kindness a child gets in a situation like that. I mean,
I can't even imagine. And I guess the last question I have before we round out our conversation is for all of the people out there that have survived human trafficking. What can you tell them that will give them hope that they can recover from that?
well, miracles happen. And first, I'm going to say something from my heart that isn't necessarily hopeful, but I still see it as such in some way, which is I've had many attempts in my life. In fact, one of them, just happened. And my cousin's psychopath. He keeps saying, I'm going to kill this cunt. I'm going to kill this bitch.
Oh, you're right. We can
Blurred
swear
that out.
here. Yeah.
Sorry. He just kept saying this over and over and kept assaulting me over and over, over and over. And in my mind, I thought, this psychopath, if he doesn't kill me, it's probably a spiritual intervention at this point. But if I die, I don't have any. I know that whatever I believe, I'm at peace with what I've done in my life. I'm not into telling people one faith or another, anything, but I do believe that there's an accountability somewhere along the line. And in my life, when I make mistakes, I try to make up for them and change. But we don't. If you do the right thing, and you do end up passing away, you have a clean conscience. You don't. Unlike people that do those things. So I want to start out by saying that. But secondly, the miracle that happened to me, at first, fall 2024 comes and Interpol reaches out to me. They have over 1,000 indecent images and videos of my daughter found on the dark web. They also have videos saved on her guardian's devices of some of these events taking place with people's over 100 with people's faces to use for blackmail. They've gone to all the American authorities. American authorities would not even remove the child. So I'm feeling pretty hopeless at this point, as you can imagine. I had some people, independent investigators, looking into it. I'm still sharing online. I'm doing my part to keep Blue's story out there. So when I'm doing that, I have to say the scariest, most terrifying moment of my life. It was March 2025, and the investigators reach out to me. They say, "We found your daughter. She has no vital signs. She was found in an abandoned house in a pile of trash. Resuscitation is underway. But if I never get a miracle again, I will count myself the luckiest mother alive, because after 3 doses of Narcan and CPR, my daughter gasped for air."
Oh, thank God.
And miracles are possible. And what you talk about with kindness like that, I kept saying this when I was going through all this after being assaulted this time, and people, I'm in bad shape, I've been maced, I'm in pain, I'm dealing with police, I'm dealing with, and it because it's, mm, it's being. I'm sure it would be taken seriously anyway, but because this was my cousin, he did this in front of everybody in the street, um, and all this stuff. This is a DV too, because it's family. So all these people are there, and every single cop, advocate, medical provider there was so kind to me. And I said, as a human trafficking survivor, I have met the worst society has to offer, but I've also met the best. Because when you're at your most vulnerable, people in general think, like the evil people are like, well, I could do anything to this person and get away with it. But the people who rise up and do the right thing, sometimes it's professionals just being kind. Sometimes, what happened to me? I was walking by and I see these two people that are obviously homeless. Now, I I did have an organization pay for a night for me to stay last night. I look clean. I don't look homeless per se today. I don't have my stuff with me, and I don't have any way to help them. But I know that they get treated really bad just for looking homeless. So I tell them, I hope things get better. I let them know, you know what? I'm homeless too. I've been there. I'm going, and so I do that. And, one of the men tried to give me 2 snacks. And the thing is that I already got some snacks from the hospital and the DV support people. I had snacks, so I didn't accept them. But that's the kind of kindness. You have these men, and he just got out of the hospital himself. He's got a hospital blanket wrapped around him, and he's offering me 2 of the snacks he got from the hospital.
Aw.
That was right up at Ike's. I walked over there, in between here, just walking around, and I just think that.
Kindness still does exist. Yeah.
And I want to keep up with and watch your podcast
Well, thank
because
you.
I think this is really important. And I hope people will look up hashtag justice for blue, like blue cheese, BLEU, or look me up on social media.
You got it.
My primary Facebook account is Ivy Alethea Mackesy. I have others because in order to share enough in the groups for awareness, because you can only share so much.
Yep.
Plus, I can constantly be attacked, have it be flagged for things I didn't do. So it helps if you have other accounts. But that's the primary one. That's the one I check, like the messages. I wouldn't.
Well, thank you, Ivy. I really appreciate it. We're going to get you back to the event now, but
Yeah, I want to go walk around some more.
try to get that kind of right in the middle. Well, Daniel and Jonathan, welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. What brings you to World Beat today?
We've been doing this just about every year for as long as I could remember. Me as well.
Is there something about this that you like?
Originally, not originally, a long time ago, we liked going here to see the dragon boats.
And so, why is it important for us to have spaces like this?
We could learn about other cultures and I don't know how to put this, how to put this into words. Something like seeing things in a whole new perspective kind of way.
Yeah. And then talk about the importance of acceptance to you. Why is it important that you have acceptance in the world?
Well, in the end, we're all human, the same. We're all the same species, just human. Just yeah, we're all made in His image, God's image, and we're made to love each other.
And tell me about that shirt, because that shirt is epic.
This shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is Japanese for Kirby of the Stars. Basically, just like Kirby, yeah. What it reads is Hoshino Kawabi, and more about what Kirby is and all that stuff. It's pretty much just like uh, it's pretty much just like a series of like video games and that kind of stuff made by Nintendo.
Would you say that would be your hyper focus?
It used to be a long time ago, but not right now.
What is your hyper focus right now?
I think my biggest hyper focus right now, or hyperfixation, whatever, I think, well, there are many of them, but I don't know what exactly would be my biggest one. I think, I think I'll just try to name a few.
Please.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Um, I guess one would be like just trying to gain lots of overall skills for life, I guess, yeah. Um, a second one would kind of be like, uh, I guess like, hmm, I, I've been kind of making, like my own personal culture a little bit made of multiple cultures, and I kind of like making it up.
I love everything about that.
Nice.
What prompted you to do that?
I just kind of wanted to like what made me think of like pretty much what made me want to make up my own personal culture of many mix of cultures, which is more than just like country cultures. It's also like some some other types of cultures. Uh, I guess what made me want to do this is kind of like build more of what my identity is, I would say. Um, if I were to kind of like describe what my personal culture would be like, I think it's a little bit of a mix of like Japanese, which is a little bit indicated by this shirt. All this is Japanese. Um, and as well as a little bit of academic culture. Um, I think I would say like empathy culture as well, if that's a thing. That kind of stuff.
100% that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because empathy is one of the most important things in life, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We spend so much time judging others based on appearance, based on the way people speak,
Uh-huh.
and that is just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes those are the things in life that we can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And when you judge people based on that, you miss out on the beautiful people that they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
So when you come to a place like this,
Mm-hmm.
how important is this to make sure that it is a place where you feel safe to just be yourself?
Well, it keeps if you love others in the correct way, of course, then you won't be seen as a then yeah, you would too would be seen as a good person, and you wouldn't have to worry about your life being in danger for you. It's like just be nice, and others will be nice to you. Really, that's kind of how it boils down.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then in terms of like being in a space like this, what is it that you like the most? Is it the food? Is it the art?
Some of it, I like the music.
Me too.
I like the. We recently had Ethiopian coffee. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, my experience in the Ethiopian tent, it was really chill.
We also got some bread there. It was really good.
Yeah.
And what would you say to people who are thinking about coming but may not want to come down here?
It's a it's a fun experience. I would say.
Yeah.
Even there's lots to do here. There's got to be at least one thing you would like here.
And then the hard question for the day:
All right.
is there a family tradition that you love?
Family tradition that I love. Well, I think every Christmas we would watch the stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I love it. I love everything about that. Uh-huh.
Yeah. We like that one a lot.
How many times have you seen it?
At least 10 times, I think.
Has there been a movie? So for me, like, there's been 3 or 4 movies in my life that I've seen like 40 or 50 times.
Yeah.
Are there any movies that you all have seen like 40 or 50 times?
Curious George Halloween.
I love everything about that.
Every time on the first day of fall, we watch that as well as get any fall treats like those frosted sugar cookies, but they're orange, or those candy corn pumpkins.
We call it our own welcome fall party.
Yeah, we call it a welcome fall party.
I love it. Is that a family thing, or do you have friends there too?
Just our family, just
That's
the
so
5
awesome.
of us.
Uh-huh. And I think that's awesome that I found somebody else who loves candy corns.
Oh yeah, why would you hate that?
I mean, there are many people who dislike it and others who do like it, but it doesn't really care. Like, different people have tastes. So, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So is there anything that you all are looking forward to here that you haven't seen yet?
I've liked the music tent with all those instruments,
Yeah.
like the piano, that drum. Looks like they even got string instruments.
I love everything about that. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Please come on down to the World Beat, and you all have a great rest of the event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Fernando, I'm Sean. Thank you for being here today. What brings you to World Beat?
I come here because I'm a dancer. I'm gonna dance here with my group.
How long have you been dancing?
It's been like about a year.
About a year. So, what prompted you to get into dance?
So my mom came. She joined the dance because one of her friends was in. So I decided to tag along. But then she left, but I stayed. So that's why I'm still in there.
So, why is it important to have events like this where you can celebrate your culture through dance?
I think it's because like people are forgetting, or at least in our culture, people forget like their roots and where they came from and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty important.
And what about how important it is to see your culture represented outside of your own?
Gee, that's a little tough one. I mean it's important, but like Jesus, I can't really.
It's a hard question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what I'd like to tell people is that if you don't know anything about somebody's culture, you're missing out. Because how can you tell whether you like somebody or not if you don't know anything about them? And so when we have opportunities to like watch and observe and enjoy somebody else's culture, it connects us a little bit more as humans. And when we're able to connect a little more as humans, the world is just a little bit better of a place.
Mhm.
And so like when you get up on stage and you're sort of like getting into like the dance groove, like do you like feel the energy as you participate?
Yeah, the adrenaline is like it's there. You can feel it. It's it's a really good feeling.
And how hard was it to get involved?
It's not that hard. I just got in, I was accepted, and it just went on from there.
And the reason I ask is because sometimes people get reluctant to join a group like that because they think it's going to be a lot harder to join than it might be. Because I would imagine with your dance troupe, you welcome anybody who wants to try, right?
Yeah.
So why is it important to have these spaces where people can just be themselves and embrace their culture?
Uh, being yourself is important, and like because it gives you your full potential.
Yeah. And then have you enjoyed the experience here so far?
I mean, I got here like not too long ago, but so far it's been pretty good.
Have you tried any of the food yet, or
No, not yet.
so what are you looking forward to try next?
Well, I'll look around. I'll see what there is, and then I'll just see.
And then in terms of like, are you dancing later on today or have you already done it?
I'm gonna dance later.
That's awesome. And then is it going to be on like the main stage over there?
I believe so.
So do you have to like, how much time does it take for you to get ready?
It doesn't take me too long. It's just like 5-10 minutes to get ready.
That's not long at all. And then in terms of like the dancing itself, is it like for 25 minutes, for 30 minutes? Like, do you normally go like an hour for shows?
So there's multiple groups from different ages, and all together we're about an hour or so.
An hour or so for the competition?
Yes.
And then in terms of like the choreographer and stuff like that, like how hard is it to pick up the dance? Like, have you been practicing like do you practice like hours a week or what's the practice schedule like?
For everybody that's in the group, it's kind of different, but for me, I go every day except for Friday and the weekends.
And then what would you say to people who are thinking about coming to the World Beat but haven't come to the World Beat yet?
I think, I mean, so far it's pretty good. I think people coming here should really stay and enjoy.
And then the hard question that I've been asking everybody, is there a family tradition or that you actually is there a family tradition that you still enjoy doing?
Uh, for me personally, there's a lot of traditions. Um, like sometimes or one of my traditions, I go to church every Sunday and for special events too.
And is it the kind of church where everybody's like up and dancing and like very joyous, or is it the kind of church where everybody's like really quiet and reading out of a book?
Uh, it's a bit of both.
Okay, that's awesome. And then if somebody were to think about trying something from your culture food wise, what would you recommend people try?
There's a lot of food options that are very popular. I think one that I'd recommend is like a breakfast food. It's called chilaquiles.
Oh, so do I. Oh my God, that's heaven on a plate.
Yeah.
So are you able to make that yourself as well?
Uh, I can't really make it, but like, cause I don't have that much cooking experience. But if I did try, I maybe if I learned.
But and I would imagine the best version of that is probably your mom's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to the event. Thank you so much. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the dance troops, come on down, enjoy the World Beat. It's a lot of fun. So, Michael and Isaiah, I'm Sean with Sullivan's Unheard Voices. What brings you to World Beat today?
We just
We're
like
just
going here like
yeah.
every year.
We go here every year.
Yeah.
We try to get the prize every year, but We fail too.
So why is it that keeps you coming back every year? Do you?
It's very fun and great.
It's very fun, all the voices are on the, cultural things. So
Yeah.
they're really fun to do.
You learn a
So
lot.
why is it important that we have spaces like this where we celebrate people's culture?
You can learn a lot of new things about different countries.
Yeah.
Um,
It's also good to
What's been your favorite part this year?
play West Africa. West Africa.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
Yeah.
we didn't go to a lot yet because
Yeah.
we just got.
Just got
We
here?
just stopped
Yeah.
by.
Mhm.
So as you're coming here, do you find that this place is just full of nice people?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And how important is it to be in a place where people are nice and it's just okay to be?
It's very important.
And why is that important to you?
It helps you learn more things and
Yeah, so that.
teach you manners and teach you other very important things with nice people.
That's awesome. So if you were to tell somebody, so let's say somebody were to say, I don't know if I'm coming here or not, what would you tell them and say that, no, come here?
You should probably ask nicely and explain why it's very fun because it is.
So are you here with your parents?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so every year you come here, every year you have fun.
Yes.
What is your favorite part?
Favorite part is probably
See if we want.
all the little activities
Yeah.
and the food and
I like the song.
the performances.
Yeah.
Oh, the Taekwondo.
Yeah,
I
he
do
joined.
Taekwondo.
He does taekwondo.
The reason I got into it was from the station at the Wood Beach.
So what do you like about Taekwondo?
All the stuff. Sparring is fair.
I love that. So when you spar, do you spar like in groups or one-on-one?
Yeah, 1-on-1.
That's awesome. Uh-huh. And so you said Taekwondo. So that means you're not doing katas. You're doing, what do you call the exercises when you practice?
I don't. Yeah. Oh, home. Yeah.
So in terms of like coming down to a space like this, like, uh, why do you think it's important for people to be kind to each other?
It's only time where we feel like
It's
everyone's
very-
Yeah.
and it's good to spread the culture and show others that.
make everybody. Want
And why is it important for you all to see your culture represented in spaces
so
like
you
this?
can learn more about.
It's
Yeah.
important because wait, I forgot.
Very lot. So many things.
And then what are y'all's favorite thing to do right now in your free time?
So chill and go outside.
Chill and go outside? That's legit.
Yeah.
How about you?
Like trampoline. I've been to down to my. Oh, like outside.
That's epic. You have a trampoline? That's so cool. Mm-mm. And then do you see like any of your fellow students here? Not yet?
Like we said, we just got here. So.
Yeah.
I see everyone from my school like once every day. I can't speak. Everyone.
That's awesome. Uh-huh. And then the hard question of the podcast, right? Is there a family tradition that you love? Something that just your family does?
I'm trying to think.
Really much I can think of right now.
What do birthdays look like at your house?
It's very chaotic.
Yeah, very good. There's like 8 people, 10 people living in our household, or like 8.
No, I think it's like 7.
And we have 5 pets.
Oh,
Whole
yeah.
bunch of madness.
5.
That's
pets.
awesome. Uh-huh. So birthdays are like full of family love and chaos.
Yes.
And how important is to have that family connection?
A lot is very
Yeah. Uh-huh. If there was one thing you could tell your mom and dad that you loved about them, what it would be?
my dad is very, very funny. So funny.
He's he's very creative and talented. And
Oh yeah, he's
also on.
should be like him one day. He's does a bunch of design stuff. So
And then what about your mom?
oh my. Okay, he is a really good cook.
That's the key to the heart, right? And is there anything else you all are looking forward to do today?
See if we wanna anything at the wrap.
and then
I
more
hope you win.
activities.
Probably finish guaranteed.
And I hope you win big.
Thanks for having.
Thanks for being on. Emma and Michelle, what brings you to World Beat today?
We have a lot of people that goes to it with us. Like
And we have a lot of fun. Do you remember how many years we've been coming here? It's like 3 or 4 years, I think.
How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
So what keeps you coming back?
it's fun.
It's fun? What's your favorite part?
The like the things you can like learn get candy and stuff and the dancing.
Dancing. I like learning new things.
Yeah.
Like we just learned about henna. Pretty cool.
That's cool. Did you get any henna tattoos?
No, but my sister did.
Where's Talia?
That's cool.
Can I tell you? Want to show him your henna?
Oh my goodness, that's elaborate. Wow.
Want to be on a podcast?
Come on in. Yeah.
There you go. You tell him about your henna. Wait, sit down. There's a microphone.
You can sit.
There you go.
I can't.
You want to tell him that you have to be committed.
Yeah.
I have to be committed for this thing. I can't like wash my hands to get it wet or anything.
And how long did you have to sit for it?
Like a day.
Oh. No, she has to let it sit for a day. It only took, how long did it take for her to put that on?
Like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Which is pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. All right. So one of the things that we talk about here is why it's important to have a space like this where you can just have fun and be a kid without any fear. Why do you think it's important that we have safe spaces for kids just to be kids?
So kids can just be kids.
Uh-huh. How about you, Mom?
And
Yeah.
I think it's important to come to these places because we learn a lot about other people's cultures.
Have fun.
We have fun learning, and we get to like experience things that otherwise we might not get to. Definitely wouldn't be able to learn all the things sitting in our living room.
Can see people dancing. You might think you want to do that when you grow up.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then the one question we ask every guest on this podcast, is there a tradition at home that you love that your parents do?
We need traditions, huh? I know there's one that my grandparents always did on Thanksgiving. They made lefse.
Oh, tell me more.
Have you had lefse?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's like a Norwegian potato pancake, kind of.
It's delicious.
You eat it with butter and sugar. I mean, everything's good with butter and sugar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could eat it with butter and jam. But it was, something that was always on the table. And so that was our little tradition. But we've got to really come up with a tradition, something. We camp every summer. It's kind of a tradition.
Thanksgiving, I love when she makes stuff, salad and the green stuff that you put marshmallows.
Pistachio delight. Yeah.
I'm the one who makes the fruit salad, by the way.
That's awesome. And then the last question I have is, what do you love most about your mom and dad?
Everything. Everything.
Oh,
Aw,
that's so sweet.
They're fun.
Yeah.
they're fun.
Creative.
Creative? Oh, I like it.
And then what are you guys looking forward to next? Is there something at this event that you all want to do?
What are we looking forward to tonight?
The fire dancing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be epic and fun.
it's so much fun.
Have you been to fire dancing before?
Yes. I'm going to start basketball, and my dad is going to be the coach.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
All the sports I've done ballet, I've done basketball, I've done swimming, I've done
And which one's been your favorite so far?
basketball, swimming, and gymnastics.
Eh,
All
All of them.
All of the above.
All of them.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. It was a privilege.
Thank
and I
you.
really hope you all have fun.
We will. Oh, and the World Bites. Don't forget. Oh, that's one of the best parts, right? You can try different foods for like $5. It's pretty cool.
And you'd be surprised and amazed at the options that are out there for $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to keep looking.
and I'm excited for the new playground.
Ooh, oh yeah, that's right. They're not done being built yet, but it's close. It's coming. Yeah.
It's gonna take like
I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sean,
Thank you. And we're here with Yulia. So, first of all, I learned a little bit about Dawn about 1.5 years ago.
oh, you did.
Yeah.
So you know about us.
What an amazing organization you all have.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Tell the listeners more about it, though, because they don't know what I know.
Dawn has been created to help Ukraine in most difficult times right now for not just Ukraine, but I think for global society that stands for freedom and for dignity and for the right of all people to exist in peace. So we began to send medical aid. It all started with sending medical aid. And over time, we got to understand more nuanced what type of needs Ukraine has and be able to really help to source the support for Ukraine that Ukraine needs the most.
And I love that you say that too, right? Because one of the things that I want people to understand is that it doesn't matter where you're from. You have the right to have a freedom.
Yes.
You have a right not to be occupied by a different country. And so just the idea that your organization exists, I'm sorry that it has to exist in the first place. At the same time, I'm thankful organizations like yours exist.
Thank you, Sean. I think that right now, and we have such a critical time that we can choose to stand on the sidelines and not to participate, or we can raise our voices. We can raise that gives us agency and capacity to make a difference. For someone, it might be a donation. For someone, it's going to be able to speak about what's happening and to dispel propaganda. For other people, it's going to donate their time, their resources to help nonprofits in their areas that they can help to promote the mission that is humanistic and humane in its core.
Because at the end of the day, we are talking about people.
Yes.
And people who should have the right to live. And when we have these conversations, it seems like we get caught up in all of the politics and we get caught up in this. But in the reality, we are talking about a people who are trying to survive an extermination.
Exactly. People who have did not make any provocation to have their land invaded. People who have developed economy and very intentionally moving toward integration with Europe and the values that are dear to all of us of democracy and freedom and dignity and liberty and pursuit of happiness. And now here the nation decides, I want what you have by taking it from you. That's not something that we can stand by. My day job, I'm a psychotherapist. So when I travel to Ukraine to provide medical delivery of medical aid, I also help with supporting defenders of Ukraine with my skills as a therapist as well.
Is it hard to actually make the trip to Ukraine now? And what I mean by that, like, is I mean, how difficult is it to get there, I guess is the question.
It's a long journey. It's a long journey because it is
time that you take away from your work. So this is a time that's unpaid and it's all self-funded. And then I would go to Poland. From there, I drive into Ukraine. From there, I make my trip all the way across the country to visit the areas I visit. And then after I'm done with all my rotations, I will be making my way, driving all the way back to the border of this Poland, spend many hours at the border, and then from there go to the airport, from there fly back to the States. It's a long trip.
And I just want to thank you for that. And here's why. Not a lot of people that operate within an organization would put their life at risk to do the work that you do. And what you do is not easy. It's a really hard thing that's necessary. And I just wanted to commend you for doing that, because the courage that it takes to stand up for what you believe in and say, you know what, not only am I just going to, I'm not going to sit here and just talk about it. No, I'm going to go there and give my hand. And that just is a beautiful thing that I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Sean. It means a lot. And it means a lot that it's done knowing that behind what I can do, there are people who do what they can do. And for someone to come here and table at the booth, for someone is to run the show. For someone, it's going to be to procure the medical aid and pack boxes. And we all have a voice. And I want to say to your listeners that no matter where you are at, you always have a voice. And the least thing you can do is 30-second phone call if you stand with Ukraine to tell your elected official that you stand with Ukraine, to share your opinion. And all it takes is to say, hi, my name is, my address is, I'm your constituent. I stand with Ukraine and I want you to do the same. Right now, there is a Peace Act that is up for vote, and it needs to pass because this is not a political issue. This is a thing that can help everybody, and it doesn't have any financial impact on U.S. It's only the good thing that is so needed right now for the global freedom of people.
And I think the piece that people forget about our politics is that there is a magic number. And what I mean by that is if more than 250 people call, change happens.
Yes.
But at least 250 people have to call.
Yes.
249, they'll forget. The magic number in politics is 250. And so it's really just a matter of you calling. So you think you may not be able to make a difference. But if you're the 250th person, you just made all the difference.
And I want to tell you that American Coalition for Ukraine, it's an NGO that is national, and we are a member of it. And I am a captain for Oregon for American Coalition for Ukraine. They host summits twice a year. And next summit is coming up in September, September 14th, 15th, 16th, where people with no experience can come to DC. And they will be trained, and then they can go and meet with elected officials in their offices and speak up for what they believe in regards to support of Ukraine. It's a unique and wonderful opportunity for people to be engaged if they want to be engaged on the national level. And I know that the registration for summit right now, I believe, is pre-registration. So its prices are going up on the 1st of July. So this is still an opportunity. If people want to join, they can go through AmericanCoalitionForUkraine.org.
And the part that I also want to add to that, too, is that you don't have to be Ukrainian to be a member or to speak up.
Right. You can be a constituent. You don't have to be American. You don't have to be Ukrainian. You need to be a person with a conscience.
Yeah. And when it's the right thing to do, it's the easy thing.
Yes. And we need not to be complacent, because it's very easy to just say, what, my voice doesn't matter, or to feel like nothing's going to change, but that's not true. I have seen those changes happen, and people are making decisive turnaround because we show up and we say we need this type of change. So it does matter.
Yeah.
And that's a privilege we have to be able. Non-citizen cannot vote, but they can still speak up and speak their opinion. And that we all can do. Takes 30 seconds times 3.
Yeah. And the piece too that I think people tend to forget is if this were to happen in our country and we were to be invaded, what would you do?
Right.
And why is Ukraine worth any less of a voice.
And especially since Ukraine has trusted United States to protect her territorial integrity with Budapest Memorandum that was signed in 1994, and the agreement was that we will get rid of our nukes. Majority of the nukes of the USSR regime were stored in Ukraine. Ukraine willingly disarmed. It's that type of consequence we want to demonstrate to the world, that the nation that willingly disarmed is going to be now waging defense for their right to exist and prevent extermination because we disarmed. Do we think we would ever be invaded if we had nukes? So Ukraine did that. U.S. promised to uphold that territorial integrity. I think it's a moral principle, and Ukraine is fighting for moral principle. There is so much commonality between U.S. and Ukraine. So it's right on so many fronts to support Ukraine. Dawn, and if you listeners want to check out our website, it's dawnus.org, dawnus.org, provides support that we can as charity, humanitarian support to Ukraine, and helping people to survive, helping defenders of Ukraine to give themselves immediate medical aid so they can make it even to evacuation. We send evacuation vehicles. We sent 28 evacuation vehicles already, because they are the difference between making it to not making it. When drones are constantly hunting people, drones are intentionally hunting evacuation teams. As someone is wounded, they might wait to kill them off until evac team comes, and then they go attack everybody. So the brutality, the savagery in which occupying forces are behaving themselves is not what U.S. stands for. We need to find right allies. I want to say, Sean, that Ukrainian capacity and development in tech and drone warfare and anti-drone warfare has surpassed in many ways development of what NATO has available. So even if we take aside the moral principles that I hold dear, as an American, I look at what Ukraine has, and as American, I say, oh my gosh, that's an ally we want to have on our side. Can you imagine if Ukraine were to fall and these highly skilled, highly technically advanced technologies are going to be now fighting against us? If Russia were to occupy Ukraine, I mean, that is not a smart choice, strategically, politically speaking, and historically.
Yeah.
On what side of history do we want to be at? And what kind of strengths do we want to ally with? And Ukraine is strengths.
And what kind of person would you be if you don't recognize that if we lose a complete culture, regardless what culture it is something that humanity can't afford to lose? Because we're talking about a beautiful country, a beautiful people, and a beautiful culture. If anybody has never been to Ukraine or met anybody who is from Ukraine, you don't understand the beauty of that culture. It is such a communal, embracing, and sort of loving culture. And so to actually have to go from a loving culture to defending yourself against an occupier kind of tears at the fabric of being Ukrainian.
It's very hard, but Ukrainian will stand and will defend themselves. And today you have an opportunity to hear gorgeous voice of Ina Kovtun sing. She sings an ancient Ukrainian folklore song. So you would have an opportunity to hear this really authentic, gorgeous Ukrainian voice. She's going to be coming up here on the stage in a few minutes.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I want to shift gears
Sure.
and have a slightly different conversation.
Okay.
Because one of the themes of this podcast is about the importance of culture and connection.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it important that we have cultural celebrations like this in our community?
When we start othering people because they're different from us, it's very easy to start seeing and become very binary and good and bad, us versus them. And have an opportunity to immerse, experience, participate in, get to know not just global culture, but in some individual representatives of that culture, allows us to build relationships and type of bridges that otherwise we would not have an opportunity to cultivate. And these relationships, the insight, the lived experience of being in the same space with another human being who is maybe very different from their lived experience from us, who maybe had different childhood experiences from us and have experienced different type of adversity and historical elements that influence who they become today, I think makes us bigger, makes us not only compassionate, but wiser.
Yeah.
Allows us to see and think about how we show up in the world and how we participate in life in a manner that is informed by a larger worldview and not informed by tribalism and dividing people into good and bad.
And I really appreciate that you say that, because one of the things that I have learned since I've been doing this podcast is that it doesn't matter who I talk to. We have so much more in common as humans than we have differences. And if we can start the conversation with, like, I know you are as a human, I'm a human, let's just figure out each other and just spend time getting to know each other, and just the power of those connections and those conversations. And life is just so much better when you have people of other cultures around. It's what makes us stronger. It's what makes us unique. And it's one of those things where I love coming to a place like this, because not only is it multicultural, it's safe here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be yourself and just enjoy the moment. And those spaces seem to be more rare and more rare.
Yeah, I appreciate the Selma Multicultural Institute has been doing this remarkable job year after year, putting on the World Beat Festival, allowing people to come here, and many people look forward to this time of year to come to experience it. Yes, today we have a lot of rain, but at the same time, so what? We are still here together. We are still learning. We are experiencing. We are tasting each other's food, and we are speaking up about that allows all of us to exist and builds capacity to be better humans.
And there's a funny thing about human rights that people forget. It's human rights. It's not American rights. It's not Ukrainian rights. It's not Chinese rights.
Right.
It's human rights. And until we can figure out a way for every human in this country, this nation, this world to have those basic human rights, to live free of persecution, to live free of being occupied, to live free of war, like, how much better this whole planet would be. I mean, it's 2026. I don't understand why we have war still in the first place. And it's so, like, my heart goes out to your country and your community, because what happened to you and what is happening to you is, and I pardon my swearing, but it was fucking terrible. And just the fact that you're not even hearing about this crap anymore,
That's just very sad.
drives me up the wall.
Thank you, Sean, for saying that. And thank you for bringing up the thought of human rights. As you were speaking, my mind drifted for a second to experiences that I know of prisoners of war that are held in Russian captivity. And it is nothing that I could ever even imagine in my worst nightmare. We will be inviting a person who has been released from Russian captivity to come to Oregon, because he has written a very comprehensive account of what has happened. And as a therapist who have worked with men and women who are released from the captivity, I can say that general public cannot even comprehend what is done to people, that medical abuse, intentional infliction of pain, neglect, breaking bones, electrocution through every orifice that human has, withholding of food, with humiliation, sexual violence, and threats of killing and then killing people next to you, in front of you, constant beating, like constant beatings. And this is 4 years of this war, and it is still happening to people who are in Russian captivity, not only soldiers, but also civilians in captivity. So I would like to welcome your listeners to pause and to realize that there is evil in the world that needs to be stopped. And we need to align with those who are working to stop it. And with all my heart, I say, glory to Ukraine. The answer to that is glory to her heroes, to men and women who day in and day out risk their lives, their families, their all to defend freedom and democracy of us all, in my opinion. And those who are currently in captivity, that is the biggest crime.
And for anyone who has any idea of anything about the Geneva Convention, that it violates almost every single one of those rules.
Yes.
So I'm going to throw this out there. And you say this person, the name of the person that's coming?
Yes, Alexia.
Alexia?
Mm-hmm.
If they want an opportunity to have a long-form conversation, I will give him as many hours of a platform to talk about his experience or her experience. I don't know if it's a he or her, sorry. To give him a chance to just talk about his experience and just give him a moment, as much time as he needs to get out his message.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be in touch about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I have your card. Thank you.
I could do.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
And then for that, to close out this interview, like, what would you tell people who are on the fence about getting involved? Like, why is this such an important issue for us not to forget?
There is a very clear difference between where Ukraine stands and what Ukraine is and what the enemy is doing in Ukraine. So there is not like, well, maybe I don't know. There are people who are harming and hurting and destroying, that are raping children, that are slicing throats of women, and that are murdering just because they can. And then there's people who set everything aside so their children and your children will be able to live under peaceful sky. And people of Ukraine are ethical and valiant, and which they stand and defend democracy. And they are, just like you are, entitled to exist. And Boli cannot be rewarded. Boli needs to go home and take care of their own country. That is, I'm sure, needs a lot of support at this point from their own government that's throwing all the money into the war machine instead.
And the one thing that I will leave people to is this personal philosophy that I have, that I really believe to my core that without shared power, there can be no peace. And this war is evidence of when you have somebody that is power hungry, and you have one individual that is just hell-bent on getting anything that he wants. It takes the collective power of people across the world to defeat something like that. And without that collective power and shift, it's like, no, everybody needs a voice. Everybody deserves to be peace. We can't have it. And so sitting on the sidelines and waiting, while sometimes that's easier, how many people have to die?
Yeah.
Until somebody just stands up and says,
yeah. And I lost my own friends, very dear to me people, and I hope that not lose anymore. I would love this war to end with Ukrainian victory, because that will be the true end of the war. And here, Ian is coming to the stage now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean, for this opportunity.
You enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah, I came down to talk about the Marshallese nuclear legacy.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm an atomic cleanup veteran, and I had a statue made in honor of the veterans that's going to a museum next month.
Congratulations.
So it's the only thing I could think to leave behind.
Yeah. So you served and you were doing nuclear cleanup?
Yes.
So I served in the Army.
Army.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, in 1977, the military sent personnel to Anahuac Atoll to attempt to clean up the atoll so that it could be returned to the native islanders. And so it went on for 3 years. And you can look it up. You can look up the term the tomb, the dome, and it'll show you the bomb blast crater that has a dome built over it where some of the material is.
And so you were there, like in the trenches, pulling out radioactive material.
Well, I drove a truck.
Okay.
So, supplies and so on.
Uh-huh.
We needed fuel. I stayed behind on the northern base camp and loaded and unloaded the trucks, supplies. Other guys went out and ran bulldozers, heavy equipment, dump trucks. The RUNIT guys ran a concrete plant and a crusher, and then, filled the crater with soil. You had Navy guys running the boats, moving soil back and forth.
And I'm glad you sort of bring this up because I think people tend to forget that there are other aspects of the military than just the people carrying the firearms.
Right.
And just how much the military does from a humanitarian aspect.
And speaking of that, we all received the Humanitarian Service Medal.
Yeah.
So
what prompted this idea for the statue?
I don't know. I was, I have cancer, so I was driving by this gallery and I've got this little sticker in my car of this Lojo animal decal that we've been sending around amongst the veterans. And I thought, I wonder. So I stopped in and showed it to them and they're like, yeah, told me about what they thought it would cost. So I waited until I had the money and came back, and another veteran, a Delta Force veteran, carved it and just really enjoyed it. It helps with his PTSD to do the carving and stuff. So he was really happy.
And that's the statue that's just right around the corner, right? That really tall one. Talk about ornate.
Yeah. He
really
enjoyed it.
Freaking amazing job.
Well, they told us to drink more beer. It would help wash the radiation out faster. So that's why he's holding a beer.
Okay, wait. You're making my autistic brain pause. They literally said drink beer. And
I laughed at that because in orientation, they told us, don't worry about the radiation. Just drink more beer. It'll help wash it out faster. And I laughed because I thought that was funny. And so I always remember that. Anything that makes me laugh, I remember.
Yeah.
So hence like the shirts.
But it's one of those things that's so, I don't know how else to say it, but that's so military.
Yeah, and there's no scientific evidence to back that up at all. That was just somebody saying that. And we drank a lot of beer.
Yeah.
I was the guy that loaded and unloaded the boats, and I brought in 2 mill vans a week, just beer.
Yeah, and
we drank a lot of beer.
And tell me if I'm out of line for asking this, because it's kind of personal. With the cancer piece, is the VA helping with that?
Yeah, they didn't do it till the PACT Act came in.
God.
Everybody was being denied, and they still didn't approve it for radiation. It's been for other things.
How is that even possible?
Well, they don't want to admit that we got any radiation exposure, but yet we all gave a 24-hour urine sample. Mine shows 3.037 rems of plutonium-239 inside my body.
It's undeniable.
So yeah, but they don't want to do it. Oh no, we don't have any scientific evidence that low dose radiation is bad for you.
And the part that frustrates me with that is that we're not talking about buildings or infrastructure. Like, we're talking about human beings who volunteered and sometimes didn't even volunteer to serve our country.
And now I just got a letter today. They want to reduce my cancer from 100% to 40 because they say, oh, he's doing better, but it's not curable. It's only manageable. So I don't know. We'll see what my attorney does. Yeah. So, I mean,
I have no words,
but I would volunteer again. I really would. I love my Marshallese friends.
I know what you mean, right? Like, so I'm service connected at 80% for a pretty significant back injury. And again, just like you, I wouldn't change it for the world because the military saved my life.
Yeah. Oh, best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
I would do it again. Like I said,
in
I
a heartbeat
to go back. So.
Yeah. In all the pain, all the suffering, all the other stuff.
A year
I would
ago,
do without it. Yeah. But at the same time.
Yeah. I got to meet the president of the Marshall Islands a year ago in March. She came through and she stopped dead in front of me. I was wearing an Anahuac Atoll shirt. She goes, Anahuac, who are you? And she reminded me of my mother. I almost started laughing.
That's
what a
awesome.
Sweet little lady. So.
But it's like, it frustrates me. And I'm sorry, fuck you, the government, for doing this to veterans, because it's it's not right. It's not fair.
Yeah. Well,
I know it doesn't change
Yeah,
anything.
we just do what we can do.
Yeah.
You know? So
Uh-huh.
I'm, as
And-
long as I'm still mobile, I'm going to be mobile until I can't. So.
And thank you. And I mean thank you in the sincerest of ways, because instead of giving up, instead of taking the approach that a lot of people may have taken, you did a statue in remembrance of other veterans.
And I've got plaques being made to honor them as well that are going with that.
That is
I've
so
got
beautiful.
I've got one made now, and the other two are at the engraver. So.
And is there a ceremony coming up?
It
in
will
those?
be. It's at the Wings of Honor Museum in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, where we have an atomic veteran cleanup exhibit, and this will be standing right next to the showcase.
So how did you end up in Oregon then, if it's in Arkansas?
This is where I live. And
Okay.
I have friends. The lady that wrote that book that I have with me, she lives in Arkansas.
Yes, it's right there. Yep, you got it. Mm-hmm.
So that's how it's going there. And there's a big community in Springdale, Arkansas as well. So.
And is there a memorial in Springdale?
Not in Springdale itself, I don't think, but Walnut Ridge is on the other side of the state.
Gotcha.
Wings of Honor Museum is where it's
Yeah.
So.
And so why do you come to places like the World Beat?
Well, I was invited down here to talk on the nuclear legacy for the Marshall Islands because I've got extensive knowledge, firsthand knowledge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Russell's probably over there now going, where is he? He's supposed to be talking.
And the last question I'll have is why is it important for us to keep talking about these issues?
Well, there's other veterans that will be coming behind us. And, you want to keep those avenues open for them.
Yeah.
And remembrance, things like this. We don't want to forget these people. They gave up quite a bit. Some of these guys died early, some not, and we need to honor and remember them.
And at the end of the day, we would not have this country without the sacrifices of those people like us who made the choice.
And I told these people earlier, I said, see these people sitting here? I said, they're the reason we're free today. And that's because of the nuclear legacy of the testing, so that we could be equal with Russia and do the deterrence thing. If it hadn't been for the testing that these people allowed in their homelands, where would we be today? So I thank them for that.
Well, thank you so much. It was an honor and a privilege to talk to you today. And I'll let you get back to your talk.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Let's see if I So we're talking to people about why it's important for events like this to happen. What brings you to World Beat today?
Yes, my wife she's a vendor.
Yeah.
And she has a booth here in African stand. And she's actually selling all kind of different food, both cooked food and dry food.
That's awesome.
We have a storefront on Hawthorne by Market, by Pietro Pisa. So our storefront is right there.
And then at the storefront, what kind of things do you sell?
So we sell all kind of African spicy food, jollof rice, egusi, fufu, name it. Different
now you're speaking
type
my
of
language.
Varieties, exactly.
Yeah. So why is it important, do you think, for cultural events like this to happen?
So event like this need to happen for people to come together, like a melting pot for them to be able to understand one another. Life is about relationships. So I think it's very important for people to come together. I love World Beat because it's a melting pot for every tribe, tongues, nation, and people, come together. So it's kind of cool.
And I think that it's beautiful because it's also safe.
It's safe,
Yeah.
safe haven for people. And he give everybody that sense of belonging, that your culture is here, my culture is here, everybody's culture is here. It's kind of neat, it's kind of nice to see people come together.
And how long have you been coming to the World Beat as a vendor?
Good question. I've been coming to the World Beat now for the 17 years.
17 years.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Because we've been in Oregon for 21 years, and after 3 years, we joined the World Beat, and we've been part of that till now.
And then when it comes to like places like this and events like this,
Right.
a lot of people are under this misconception that you have to belong to a certain culture to be here. No, everybody's
No,
welcome
I don't
here.
believe that.
Everybody's welcome here.
Yeah, everybody needs to. It's welcoming. It give you, again, like I said, it give you a sense of belonging. Like you can see your culture, you can see oh man, I didn't know there are German here, there are Ethiopia here, there are, Mexican here, there are, it kind of give you that sense of belonging that, oh, I see my people, So
And how important is it for you to see your culture outside of your own community?
yeah, it's so important. It's so, like I said, it makes you look forward to it. To like, oh, let's, at least once a year, let me go have that sense of belonging.
And I always have a hope when somebody comes to a place like this
Right.
that it turns out being more than once a year.
I hope so
Yeah.
too, So things like this need to be done very often, over and over again, for people to create awareness that, Oregon care, Salem care, people care about people, Yeah.
Yeah, because we spend so much time thinking about how we're different from each other.
Exactly.
And one of the things that I have learned over the years is that we have way more in common than we don't have in common.
Right.
And that's regardless of what culture you belong to.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we're all human. And
Amen.
like, how wonderful your life would be if you could be open up to different cultures and communities.
Exactly. So, and a lot of people live in isolation in these days, which is one of the most dangerous killer in our generation. So I think a place like this is a safe haven for people to come and get out of that isolation situation and get some fresh air and meet different people. Like I'm meeting you for the first time, for example. So I think it's cool for people to come out of their, place and come and enjoy and get exposure to other culture.
And I can't express how much appreciation I have for what you just said. As I used to be that person who would stay at home and never leave the house, and I wasn't interested. But then I found this podcast and I started talking to people and meeting people from different cultures.
Right.
And it just, every day it was a little bit easier to get out of the house, because when you find a welcoming culture or community,
Right.
it gives you the freedom to just be you.
Exactly.
And how freeing it is just to be you and enjoy yourself.
Exactly. And also, you have a taste of every culture. You have a taste of every culture. You can come here and eat tortilla. You can come here and eat Kenyan food, Nigerian food, Ethiopian food. It gives you a different taste of every culture, and you can have different fabrics. Oh, you can get a fabric from Africa without traveling to Africa. You can eat a food from Africa without traveling to Africa, to Islander, you can, it's kind of neat to come out to a place like this. I understand it's for 2 days, today and tomorrow. So people need to come out and mingle and meet new people and taste new food and get new clothing, fabrics, for themselves.
And the one thing I can tell you about this event, the entire time I've been here, I haven't seen a single frown the entire time I've been here. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is how God created us to be happy and to have relationships with everybody outside your family.
And we are stronger together than we
Together,
are
I love
separate.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. Together, united we stand,
Yeah.
divided we fall.
Yeah. And now I'm going to ask the only hard question for this podcast. What is something about your culture that you love?
Oh, the food, the dance, the music, varieties of things, everything. I love everything about my culture. And I'm glad that we can transfer that here and we have the liberty. Well, I appreciate the environment welcome the culture. So isn't that cool?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by this brief
Thank
moment.
you for having me. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And thank you for being a vendor here. Like, come by and check this, please. To check. Where can people go to find your store?
Okay, so we are on 1555 Hawthorne Avenue, Northeast Salem, Oregon. We are very close to the McDonald on Hawthorne Avenue by Market Street.
Thank you so much. We'll get you
Thank you.
back
It's
to the
my
event.
pleasure. Thank you.
Alea Trinity, I'm Sean, and this is Sullivan's Unheard Voices. What brings you to World Beat today?
I think we just came here just to have look around and have fun and explore everything.
I'm here my parents brought us here and I really like how the place is like there's different cultures joining together, knowing like all the different like what they do and like how they sing and like all the different foods and like how they make stuff. Like
And I like seeing all of the different cultures and the food and how they the dancers and everything. That's really cool.
And is having events like this important to both of you?
Yes. I think it's like just showing like their like that they also like matter and stuff. Since like what is going on right now, like it's really good that this is happening.
To find people that they still care about this and everything, and I'm glad that they're hosting this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And how important is it that they have a safe space for you all to hang out like this?
It's pretty important actually, like knowing that they can just be themselves and like express themselves and just like show what they believe in and like what like religion they're in and like all that type of stuff.
How about for you?
Wait, what was the question again?
So why is it important to you that we have these safe spaces?
I think it's important because wait, I'm trying to wait.
I can ask a different question if you like.
Yeah.
That's fine, totally. So when you come to an event like this, what are the things that you enjoy most?
The different people in all the countries.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like what I really like is like definitely the food. I love trying like the different places' food. Of course, yeah, there can be like picky eaters like me, but obviously I'm willing to try like the other stuff.
There's a train, yeah, I know.
It's fine. Yeah, and I really love like all the different stuff people made like from around the world. Like we seen like these different instruments. Could do that. And then there's like people that crochet and like people that just bring stuffed animals or like make pins or like different outfits and like that's really like cool to me and the food too.
And what is it important that you all see your own culture in a place like this?
Yes.
It's
Why do you like seeing your own culture represented?
because it's nice showing the people like everything, and I like seeing people's reactions to the stuff like the food and like the music and everything, and the stuff that they do. And it's really fun. I like seeing people's reactions to.
Yeah, like I like seeing other people like from the same culture and like even from different cultures we seen some Indian dancers which were really cool.
They were really
like I seen like other like mostly other dances like Mexican, but I never really seen Indian dancers which was really cool. And I bet other Mexicans were like, "Oh, that's really cool."
That was nice. That was a good thing to experience.
And let me ask you this, like seriously, right? Honest answer. Have you seen a single frown today?
No.
Except for us, but that's it.
Wow, how dare you? What?
Yeah.
How dare you? I was having fun with this.
But I want people to know, like, when you come here, not only is it about cultural celebration, it's also about just having fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many times do we just have a chance to take a step back and have fun these days?
Not that much, especially like since what's been going on, people are like saying stuff like online and just saying like rumors or like other stuff that's been happening. And like especially with like Trump, like a lot of people are like going against him, like as they should, like inflation and like the what?
Ice.
Yes.
Mhm.
And like what he's been doing with I forgot what the country or place was, but he's been like doing bombs and stuff like that.
Iran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I bet other people here think that too because like what if he can definitely do that to their place too. And like
and like they just want to be happy, and they are here. They were experiencing other places. They're listening to other music. They're tasting the other food. They're seeing the other like merchandise. Like that's really cool of this place to do.
Mhm. And how boring this country would be if we didn't have all of these amazing cultures around.
Really boring because
Uh-huh.
I'm like cooped up in my house like 24/7.
Yeah.
And so when you come to a place like this, like tell people, because I think a lot of people may not know that this is a family-friendly environment.
Yeah.
hmm And so when you come here, like, have you tried any of the foods yet?
Yes, we had bubble milk tea.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
Uh-huh. And have you tried like the $5 sort of like tour of the world feeding yet?
Oh no, where is that?
Oh, it's right around that way there. For $5, you get like a tour of like different countries, all kinds of different foods. Yeah. Yeah. And so are you guys coming back tomorrow, or is it just today?
I think it's just today.
I think it's just today, yes.
And then what would you tell people who are thinking about coming but may not think like why you should come?
I would say that they should come because it's nice to experience a lot of things here, like the food, the music, and a bunch of different cultures that have stuff here. And I think that they should come here because it's really nice here and it's really safe environment.
I think, yeah, they should definitely come. Like, they might not want to because either they're like scared to express themselves, like maybe the way they dress or the way they look, or they just don't want to go out. And obviously they should because there's different people that like dress differently, that look differently, that act differently, you know? And it's a really safe place. And they can go with their family, their friends, their other relatives aside from that family group, even strangers if they want to, if they like meet up and like say hey, you know, like it would be like really cool for other people like to join, like to
Yeah. And then the last question is kind of the hard question that I ask people. Is there a tradition in your family that you love?
sorry.
No, you're good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think it's the 4th of July, I think,
Okay.
or maybe New Year's. But
Okay, when
we
is
go outside, we grab a suitcase and we run out to the block and
that will be
4th of July and everything. And like we say where we want to go, and then when we get these little beans, I think, pretty sure it's beans, and then we throw them up in the air and we that's like for good luck and everything. And we throw them behind our back and we get, and I'm pretty sure it's like. Yeah, we get those things and we throw them behind our back. We like get we that's like to put all the good luck for all the year.
That's awesome.
So what was the question again?
Is there a family tradition that you really enjoy?
Oh, I love the Day of the Dead. Obviously, I like we do it like every year. So we do it for my mom's brother, and we do it for like my dog. Those are the two that we usually do and stuff. I love doing that. I love how like it looks. I love like the flowers, and like I love how like it just feels like we're reuniting with them.
And an honor to your ancestors, but also to your existing family at the same time. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to see the ofrenda and everybody over there, and it feels like that you're having like it's like they're there with you.
Yeah, and I'm glad they made a movie about it, Coco.
Oh yeah, Coco's a really good movie.
Yeah. Love the
For
music.
me, for the Day of the Dead, I usually put my grandpa, my grandpa David, my auntie Esther, and my dog Logan. He passed away like 2023, I'm pretty sure, 2020. And it was really sad because that was like the first time that an animal passed away from me. But yeah, it was really sad. But I know he's in a better place now and that he's feeling way better.
Well, thank you both for stopping by. This was a lot of fun, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Yeah, thank you so much. And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I'm here with Joy and Amelia. Hi, welcome back. Like I say, welcome back. Like people have seen you before, right? But we know each other outside of this space, right?
We do.
And what brings you to the World Beat?
Well, spending time with my granddaughter today. Wanted to show her
all the cool things the world offers. And so we came here to see some dancing, right? And see some food and just learn about the world.
See, and I really appreciate that because I think this world would be a much better place if more parents and grandparents brought their kids to events like this. Like, how important is the sense of culture and community to you?
Extremely important. Community is what the people around us who help us, right, Amelia?
Yeah.
And without our community, it would be really hard to get some stuff done, right?
Yeah,
Right?
like if you're sick, doc-
That's right. If you're sick and you need a doctor, that's absolutely right. So our community is really important. So we have friends to help us, lift us up, right?
And how important is it to have safe spaces in the community?
So important. If we don't feel safe, we can't express ourselves. We can't share who we truly are and where we come from and what we know. And so safe spaces allow us to be genuine and authentic.
And I'll ask you the same question I've asked just about every guest that comes through here. How many frowns have you seen today?
None. Have you seen anyone upset? I don't think. Oh, well, maybe one person, but that's why we have the sensory tech.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yep. They went to the right place, right? To calm down. Yeah.
Mhm.
But we had so much joy today, right? Everybody's really happy.
And it's one of those things, and the reason I kind of came here to be this podcast is because this is one of those places where it doesn't matter who you are or what your background is, you're welcome here. And like, so from your personal perspective, like, how important is it for society in all as a whole to appreciate the difference of culture?
well, very important.
Tell us tell us right here.
Tell me more.
What's so important about understanding other cultures?
It's like getting to know them and
Getting to know people. Yeah. And learning new things, right? Yeah. And learning about like all the dances we saw, right? You're a dancer and you saw lots of new dances today, didn't you? Yeah. So you can make friends from all over the world through dance alone, right?
yeah,
Because dance is a language that you know, and so
Yeah.
do other people. But it might look a little different depending on where you are, huh?
yeah,
And that's okay. And that's fun to learn about, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite thing so far?
What'd you just tell me about the Hawaiian dancers?
That was my favorite.
They are out of this world, aren't they? There's so much emotion and so much joy. It's just undeniable. Yeah. Uh-huh. So tell me about your experience here so far. Like, have you had the chance to enjoy some of the foods or anything like that?
We actually just tasted some cotton candy, which is totally out of our realm. But no, we mainly came here to really watch the dancers because she's been finding her way in dance world this year and decided that she likes hip hop the best. So I wanted her to see a little bit of what the world has to offer dance wise too. So
And I always like, so a lot of my listeners and audience are in the disability advocacy space. And I always tell parents, regardless if your child has a disability or not, get them in dance, get them in theater, get them in these spaces where they're like interacting in a positive, non-competitive environment.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
can also express themselves, learn how to express themselves in different ways.
In healthy ways.
And have fun.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
So
right.
are you gonna be taking up dancing soon?
I'm gonna be doing hip hop from now on.
That's awesome.
She tried ballet. And what'd
Uh,
you say about it?
I like it.
Why?
It's just non-comfortable and
You like hip hop because
it's comfortable and it's fun.
has comfortable clothes. That's what she likes about
I love everything about that.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And what would you tell everybody who are listening who think maybe they don't know if they want to come here or not?
You tell them to try something new. It's fun. Is that what you would tell them? I would say try something new. Be open to learning, and you never know what you might find that you enjoy if you're open.
Be nice and always make sure your friends are okay.
Yep. Always make your friends are okay. Yep.
It's true. This is a good way to meet new people, isn't it?
Yeah.
People from all over the world. Yep.
And then the only hard question I ask in these podcast interviews is there one thing about a family tradition or a culture that you love most about your own family tradition or culture?
Let's see.
It's a lot tougher than people think.
It is. It is. My family is originally from Ireland, and we do like to do a good corned beef and cabbage in March, anytime in March. So, yeah, that's one of the traditions we have for sure. What family tradition do you like? You like summer? Summer is a fun family tradition. Why do you like summer? We do get to spend some extra time with family and friends in summer. I agree with you.
Well, thank you both for joining me today, and thank you for coming to the World Beat.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
will.
Mhm.
Right.
That was awesome.
That was fun. Thanks, Sean.
Of course.
You're going to be on a podcast, miss.
You're going to be on YouTube on Tuesday.
Sweet.
Well, welcome, Kibby. What brings you to World Beat?
I've been coming here the last 4 years, and I just like how Riverfront used to be like a really good kid area to play and stuff. So now they got like these homeless people around and just like ruining it for all the younger kids. So I want to get it back to where it's actually like a family community and to get more help for like the homeless people. For they're just not leaving their drunk everywhere.
Yeah, and it's nice that you have spaces like this every now and then where you can actually bring your family down to Riverfront Park, because it's not always the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what is it about the World Beat that keeps you coming back?
Just the friendly people, and my family, we get together on a lot of events, and this is just one of them we get together on.
That's really cool.
And the
Almost like a
dancing,
tradition?
yeah, they like to watch the dance scene.
What's
and
been your
we-
favorite part today?
Walking around and just meeting people.
And what does cultural awareness and cultural acceptance mean to you?
Well, I have Irish friends in our family, and I try to like celebrate their religion and like Indian
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm. But then when you're here, how important is it for like places like this that are safe for families?
Oh, a lot, because I could not have to worry about like my niece and nephews so much of them running off on me.
Which is huge, right?
Yeah.
And then how important is it for people to be kind in this world today?
A lot, because it goes a far way when you're nice.
Well, it's a lot easier too, right?
Yeah.
Being kind is so much easier. It takes so much work not to be kind that I don't understand why more people aren't.
I always got raised as how you want to be treated, that's how you should treat the other person.
Yeah. It's a good place to start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then talk about like the importance of like conversation and community. Like, why is it important that us people in the community get together and support one another?
I just think it's healthier for the environment.
Tell me more.
I don't know.
That's fair.
It's better for people to get like together, better
Yeah.
connection, like resources and stuff.
Because I also think that everybody should be entitled to a space where they can be themselves without judgment.
Yeah.
And it seems like we get so quick to judge people before we know anything about them.
Yeah, that's true. That's a lot true.
And then, so how important is it for you to have a safe space just to go out?
Oh, a lot, because like I said, there's like so many homeless people now these days. There are people getting stabbed and killed left and right over like just the littlest thing because they were trying to survive.
And how long have you been in the Salem area?
I basically was raised up here since I was 3.
So how much has changed since you grew up?
Quite a bit.
Like how?
It came being like where it was like fully safe
Yeah.
to just run around, and now like I don't like trust my niece going or my nephew going a block down the road because of the environment now.
Yeah.
Before I used to just let them go wherever they want to go. So it's not this case now. Not anymore. Too
I
dangerous.
I know what you mean. So like in the neighborhood where I live, it used to be where the kids would be out playing in the streets and everybody was like out and about. But with the way things are right now, it's like a ghost town at night.
Yeah, you can never trust a person if they're just gonna like come around the corner or what they're gonna do.
And what do you look for next to here at World Beat?
Just keep coming and just keep running to nice people and just having the kids have fun
Yeah.
and just keep joining the dancing.
And then I'll ask you the same question that I ask everybody. Is there a family tradition that you have that you enjoy?
Mostly just like holidays.
That's awesome. So, like, tell me more a little bit about that.
Like Christmas, because like it's just us and we see all like his opening and seeing their like sprite faces bright up because they get something they wanted.
And for a
And what does
moment,
she just take
she
off
just
to?
stand right there. But it's also a time for you just to be present with your family.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, we all get together and eat.
That's
dinner.
awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to World Beat. Thank you so much for stopping by.
No problem.
And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. Let's do this a little bit. And it's Maylin, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what brings you to World Beat today?
So we have a board member here. We work with an organization that called Haiti Partners. And my husband and I, John and Go, so we co-founders, and we work with schools in Haiti. So we have about 1,700 students in school. So our friend, Teresa, who lives here, and she's a board member, and she said, there is World Beats. You have to be a part of it. So she signed us up. And so we came.
That's so
And
beautiful.
when we came, it was so beautiful, so gorgeous. We love it here. We used to come, but not at World Beats. We come to Oregon, but not at World Beats. But when we came here, this is gorgeous. So many countries. It's so inclusive. So this is amazing. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So, like, one of the things that I love to talk to people about is why it's important to have events like this. Why do you feel it's important for us to celebrate culture this way?
I feel like we are in this world together. So representation matters. So when people like our friend Teresa think, okay, you guys work in Haiti with Haitians, so you should represent Haiti. So, and when we come here, we see so many countries that's representing their cultures and all of us together. It just make the world, for me, it just make the world a better place.
And how
everyone can be human and be
Yeah.
in one place.
and how important is it to see your culture represented outside of your community?
For me, it's amazing. So I see the flag here, and I'm in this country, even though I'm Haitian American, but at the same time, Haiti, that's where I was born. So I feel like this country is pretty special because they embrace everyone, wherever you come from. They create opportunities for you to, in a sense, to evolve and to be the people, the person that you were created to be. So that's a beautiful thing.
And I really appreciate you have this sort of focus towards school, because one thing that we have found time and time again is just how important education is to elevate people out of poverty. So what is it about that sort of supportive school that sort of drives the mission of your organization? Because it's so important that places like your organization exist.
Yeah. I do feel it's so important. In a sense, for me, I grew up around educators. My grandfather was an educator, and he always says the greatest gift you can give someone, a society, is educate them, education. So for us in Haiti, education is not where we want it to be. So people like me and my husband who has more opportunities, we feel like we've in a sense, we're here for a purpose. And if we're not using the opportunity that we've been given, the gift that we've been given and pass it along to people, using it to serve other people, then we're not using our gift. So this is why we're involved in education, and we feel like even if we live tomorrow, we know there are leaders that will rise up and take over because they being educated.
I love everything about that. Yeah, and so I'm curious because within the culture that how do I ask this? One of the things that I've recognized is that when you spend time and effort elevating out of poverty, we all win. Across the globe, we all win. And the part that's frustrating for me is that organizations like you don't typically get a lot of airtime. But yet, these are the organizations that deserve airtime. Because every time you make a difference in a child's life, you're making a difference for multiple generations in the future. And so instead of thinking in the here and now, you're also thinking about what's best for people 10 years from now,
10 years
20
from
years
now,
from now.
exactly. Change makers.
Yeah. So has that always been sort of like a part of your life and culture?
It's been a part of my life, and also my husband, who's not here with me, but he's he's waiting at our table. Yeah, that's been also a part of his life. He was in business before and found out his life was lacking of meaning. So he wanted to go and serve. So he went to Haiti in 1991, and he stayed for 2 years, and then he found, oh no, I should stay longer. So he's been involved since then. So it's been over 30 years. So we got married 23 years ago. So we started working together. And since then, we've been engaged in the same mission to serve others. So for us, it's this is what we're going to be involved for the rest of our lives.
And it's one of those labor of loves where it's like, it's not work.
Exactly, exactly. So, and at the school, we don't teach children only how to read and write. We teach them to be entrepreneurial. And for us, it's not just like telling people what to do, telling students is to do it yourself. So this is why we created a business. This is a social business, Merlin's. So
That's
we
awesome.
created hot sauce, and we also have pickles and pumpkin soup. So so the children can see the people that they know are creating businesses and are sharing their food around the world, so they themselves can follow that and say, oh yeah, we can create businesses too, because we don't need to wait for someone to create a job for us. We need to put ourselves together, put our money, resources together, and create jobs for ourselves. So that's why when we were invited to come here, we were like, yay, this is a beautiful thing. So thank you. This is amazing. So
And what a
hats
shift.
off.
And what I mean by that is, so if you compare what you just said about school versus what American schools are today, American schools are designed to teach people to be workers. You're talking about a school that's designed to teach people to be leaders. That's a huge cultural difference in just how we approach and how we teach our children. And I think that's a beautiful thing that should be acknowledged, because it's something that's kind of in absence in of our own country that we could learn from in so many ways.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so was that sort of like an idea that you always had, or is that just something that's a part of your culture that you're carrying forward?
Well, when we look at the system of colonizations in Haiti, and Haiti was colonized by the French for a long time. So when they won their independence in 1804, they left with nothing. So they just said, we have to pull our resources together and working to make the country work for everyone. But at the same time, they didn't have in a sense, resources to make all these things work. For example, good education, good infrastructure, and good jobs for people. And plus, they didn't recognize Haiti for over, the 60 years plus. So all that to say they lag behind. So children don't have jobs. Young people finish high school and go to university, they don't have jobs. They live in Haiti because they're looking for a better place.
Yeah.
So young people are getting into, in a sense, they're looking for better opportunities. So therefore, we just said, if we involve in education, education cannot be the same. It should be something different. So my husband and I, we start thinking education should be, in a sense, a school should be a model for development in the community, where kids using their minds to create a community where everyone thrives, not just survive, but thrive. So that's.
And I really appreciate that perspective
Mm.
because I to everybody, and I hate to repeat myself because I've said this like 50 times today, but there is no such thing as rugged individualism. You have a phone.
Yes.
How many people built that phone? There is no such thing.
No such thing. It's
No.
wait.
We are on this planet together, whether we like it or not. We might as well get along and love one another. It's the
Accept one
easiest
another.
thing to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, like, my last question is about your own culture. So, what would you like to tell people about your culture that you love? So, what is one piece of your culture that you just love?
Well, I love the resiliency of that nation. So no matter what they go through, the darkness, the hardship, but they still standing strong and beautifully and welcome everyone, more or less. If you go to Haiti, someone will give their bed, their only bed to you to sleep, and they take the floor.
Yeah.
Because they believe in hospitality, they believe in welcoming everyone around them. So even though Haiti is going to such dark time, but they believe in hope, they believe in collaboration, and they just know one day they're all going to rise up again and standing strong again, and beautifully for the world to see that this little country it still exists. So
And it's one of the most beautiful, warm cultures out there. So if anybody has yet to interact with somebody from Haiti, you're missing out. And also, the flippin' food is awesome. Yeah.
and try the hot sauce.
And try the hot sauce. Where can people go to support your organization?
So they can go to HaitiPartners.org,
Mhm.
and if they go there and they can make a donation if they want to, if they wish to, or they can learn from what we're doing and get in touch.
Yeah.
Get in touch with us. And also they can go to merlins.com to purchase their hot sauce, and all profit goes to support Haiti Partners, to support our schools in Haiti.
And I'll say the thing I've said before, right? Every dollar that you spend at a place like this goes to the people who need it the most. And whatever we can do to support and lift people in our community, but also around the world, please do so. Buy some hot sauce, folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I love Oregon. I love this
This
city.
state is so nice. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And you guys are so welcoming. So you are an example in this country. So I love you for that. And
Thank
hats
you.
off to you.
And it's so honored to be here, and I'm so glad that you're here. And thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Because it's huge and impactful, and it's not just lip service. You are actually doing some meaningful work that you can see tangible results.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I started a podcast because I realized that the power people have all the voices. So I started a podcast where I want to talk to real people about the importance of community and acceptance. And we're here at World Beat to talk to people about why they're here at World Beat.
Okay.
So what brings you to World Beat?
I came to World Beat a long time ago just as to enjoy it with everybody else. And then I got to start dancing when I was about 50 and was invited to participate. And so now we come every year to just learn about others and others to see what we do. And it's a lot of fun.
And so why do you think it's important that we have places like this where we can celebrate other cultures?
I think it's important to just everybody's a person, and we want to, just because we believe something different, it's not wrong. We just need to learn about it to know why people are different. I mean, because really we're just all people, and all the same.
Right.
Give everybody a chance to just talk to each other.
So I've been doing this for about 3 years, and I can attest that exactly right. Like, one thing that I have realized in this path of this podcast is we have way more in common than we do in difference, and that's across all cultures. And so, why is it important for you to have a space like this where you can just be present, be safe, and be accepted around all of these different cultures?
It's just a chance to be free of who you really are and not, be judged and, not judge anybody else. Everybody just, it's like in the dance group of women that I dance with. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, just started or done it for 20 years. Everybody's welcome. There's not a size you have to be or skill level. It's just be the best that you can be. And it's just fun to be really a part of that with other people who have that same passion.
And I really appreciate that, because a lot of the audience that listens to the podcast is in the disability space. And one of the things that I stress upon parents in particular is that if you have a child who has special needs, dance is a safe place for that child, because people that are in that dance community, I have lived it. I don't know if you've had the same experience. Everybody's welcome there.
I agree.
Yeah. In the
Yeah.
dance community. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just welcome to be your best, and
Yeah.
that's really great to be a part of. That's what brings me back to doing it.
So what got you into dance in the first place? What was the bug that got you like, I want to try this?
When I turned 50, I was just going to do random new things. I took ukulele, then Bollywood, and then I landed up here. And so it's just a lot of fun to try new things, get out of your comfort zone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what kind of dance do you traditionally lean towards?
Well, I've been doing belly dancing now on and off for about 5 years. And before that, I was doing the Bollywood.
Huh.
I'm still really a beginner, and you just got to keep practicing and having fun with it.
And talk about the importance of like that. So I guess let me phrase it this way. When you're getting into like the dance space, talk about like, there's no expectation of level of achievement. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, for me, it's like I just every day try to teach myself to do something new or better or different, and it's all up to me what I want out of it. And there's no one making me do any of it. But then you kind of get in there with the music and you kind of lose yourself, and you just time just flies.
And is there any significance to the jewelry that you're wearing today?
Not the jewelry. There's not a significance. Today we did a Turkish
How
9/8
cool.
rhythm tribal style belly dancing.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
How many people were out there?
In my group, there are 6 of us that dance together. We're kind of I wouldn't say we're beginners, but we're not like the professional, the ladies who are like really out there competing and doing things like that. And it's just a lot of fun. But dancers in total, there were probably about 40 of us, I would say, all different styles, costumes, ages, bodies, just having a great time.
And I love that too, right? Because like, and what I mean is words are hard. I've been at this for 7 hours. Body positivity is something I talk a lot about, because we put a lot of pressure on people to have this right kind of body or this right kind of look. And a lot of people are under this misperception that I can't get into dance if I'm a certain size or a certain way. And so when you speak to those words, it kind of reminds me to remind people like, there's no barrier to entry here. It doesn't matter your body size, your body type, your religion, your country, your origin. Dance welcomes everybody.
All you have to do is show up and give it a shot.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah. And how important is it to lead with kindness?
Well, everybody's kind in the dance world, I think. So it's not something you have to try to do. When you're surrounded by people who are kind, it's easy to be kind.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it takes so much effort not to be kind. And one of the things that I have learned I've been on this kindness journey that I have been on, if you lead with kindness, the universe leads with kindness back.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. And so like, how often have you come back to the World Beat?
Oh, I've been coming here now for about 8 years.
About 8 years. And what's the difference between now and what it was like 8 years ago?
Oh, it just depends. Each year's a little bit different. Some years, it's there's a lot more going on. Some years, like this year, it's a little rainy, so it's a little quieter. But it's still, I mean, it's neat to see this different vendors and different people and foods and everything. So
And the last question, the last question I say, is there anything that's a family tradition of yours that you love?
Oh, family traditions. Well, I don't have a lot of family, like blood family left, but it's so cool that my friends and family that I do have just come out here and we all support each other.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So welcome, Ola. This is Sullivan's Unheard Voices. What brings you to World Beat?
Well,
A little bit
I
closer.
have been coming to World Beat probably for like 15, 16 years.
Wow.
And I just love the idea of all the countries coming together. I just love meeting new people and learning about culture.
How important is it for spaces like this to exist?
Very important because a lot of people don't even know what exists out there. They just believe everybody's like them and they come and they're like, ooh, 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 which they will call a continent a country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lots of learning, I'll say.
And so when it comes to like an event like this, you as a vendor, what is the overall? Okay, let me ask it this way. Today,
Mm-hmm.
how many frowns have you seen?
None.
None. That's what I'm telling you, folks. This is a fun place.
Yeah.
This is a loving place and a safe space.
It is.
Why is it important for these kind of spaces to be here?
It is important because, God created everybody equally. I always tell my kids, I'm like, whether you're green, black, yellow, you're created in God's image. So it's variety. God loves variety, I guess. It's important, for people to learn and just see, enjoy the culture. I'm like, oh, really? This is what you guys do? Oh, this is what I think it's important.
And what does it mean to you when you see your culture expressed outside of your community?
It just brings me joy. Being a vendor, like I see the joy when people taste my food and they keep coming back. They're like, oh, I can't wait till next year. I can't wait till next year. So it's a lot of, I would say, education and, just trying something new.
Yeah. And so like education and trying something new is really important.
Yes.
Because one of the things that I've found along the journey that I've been on is we have way more in common than we do have differently.
Yes.
And until you are around people who aren't like you, you may not know that.
Yeah.
And the importance of including people who aren't like you into your circle is huge.
It is.
Because the world is better with all of us together.
It is better with everybody together.
Yeah. And so what about what is it about the World Beat that keeps you coming back every year?
Wow. Every year I tell myself I quit, but I keep coming back. I quit and I keep coming back. I've been doing this for almost 15 or 16 years. Probably my daughter was probably 5 or 6 and she's 20 something now. And I've been coming every year. Never missed a year.
And how much has it changed over the years?
Well, the boots are more expensive. Everything is expensive. But you know what? If you love it, you keep doing it. Yeah.
And have you had the opportunity to go around and sort of like see all of the other events here?
Yes,
yet?
I usually take a break and just walk around.
That's awesome. So talk about the importance of like the community involvement. Like, why is it important that the community should come to an event like this?
Like I said before, education is important. Like people grow up. There's nothing wrong in homeschooling your child, or at least I know people that homeschool too, they teach them about the world. But people are they just stay in their corner. And we need everyone around us. We need people. So it is very important because then you can say, oh, this is a country, this is a continent. This is what you can see. Like if you go to the Indian booth, everybody goes around with a scarf and they come every year and people go and they don't even care how much it is. I tell you, people just want to experience the culture. They want to take picture with it, put it on social media. I'm like, oh, I got the Indian scarf. So that's what culture is all about, embracing other people's culture.
And how important is it for people to try new things?
It is very important because you may never know. You may never know if you're actually going to love it more than yours.
And the one question that I ask everybody is, if you were to think about your culture, what is one thing that you love about your culture?
Oh my. How will I say? I just love being Nigerian. I love everything about being Nigerian. I love the drive. I love the audacity. You know, I think let me give you a quick example. I remember when I started my business, when I started my beauty salon, somebody walked into the shop and I'm like, where's the boss? I'm like, don't I look like the boss? So, oh, who owns this? I'm like, I own it. When did you come to this country? I'm like, is that important? So I love the audacity. I love the boldness. And I love being loud. Yes.
And I love the Nigerian culture because it's a culture, not only we talk about loud, but it's also a culture of love and community.
Yeah.
Like there's this sense of we need to take care of our fellow person, but also really take care of our own families and support that continuation from child to death and having this sense of community.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that I've lost along the way because I don't have a lot of family left. And so when I see that cultural appreciation and that sense of community, it's one of those things like, oh, that's so amazing.
Yes, and we pass it to the next generation.
Yeah.
Like my kids know that wherever they go, they're still Nigerian.
I love everything about that.
Thank you.
So what kind of food are you offering this time
So
around?
this time I'm doing African, of course, Nigerian food. I have jollof rice. I have egusi soup and fufu. I have eforiro. I have the drop donuts, the puff puff. So I have the sweet. I have the fried plantain. Yeah, what else? I have beans. Left for the vegetarians, beans and sauce and plantain. Yeah.
And how many generations has this recipe been in your family?
A lot. It's been passed down. I even have a cookbook.
I love it.
I've written 3 cookbooks just from my grandma to my mom to myself, and now I'm passing to my daughters.
Is the hope that they take up the banner at some point?
They had better.
They better. I love it. And what would you tell people who haven't been here before and are thinking about coming but are hesitant?
I meet people all the time and I keep telling them, you need to come to World Beats. It's interesting. It's fun. Just get out of the house and look at how people are dancing. Look at the culture. Like I was just coming down there. I'm like, oh, they are not Africans, but they are dressed like African. And I'm like, so we have so many things in common. So many things. Like I love coming here every year.
It's one of those refreshing places too, because I love coming here because I can be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And just be present and enjoy the moment.
Yes.
So where can people go to find out more information about your place?
So I have my business on Orton and Market on just by Pietro's Pizza.
Yeah.
Here, not too far from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how often are you open?
Monday to Saturday.
And do you have a website or a Facebook?
I have a website. I have Instagram. I have Facebook. I have everything.
What's the website?
www.africanmart.com.
African
Mart.
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 Okay. AfricanMart.com.
Yes.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here. We'll let you get back to your booth.
Thank you for having me.
This is such
Appreciate
an
it.
amazing experience. And we're going to wrap things up, folks. So we'll be back live tomorrow as well. And I'm going to end the podcast the way I always end the podcast. Be kind. We all live on the same planet. We breathe the same air. And this world would be just a little bit better if we treated everybody with a little kindness and respect. Thank you.
Thanks.